And we are ready to kick off one of the biggest weekends of racing in Pennsylvania. It's night number one of the 57th Tuscarora 50 for $57,000 to win on Saturday night. Here in Port Royal, Pennsylvania, it's race number 42 of 2024 with Kubota High Limit Racing. Chase Rodman alongside Earl Hoon Jr. up in the booth. And you can welcome our new sign as well. The Hasty Bake Charcoal Grill's broadcast booth sign has made its debut here on FloRacing. But Earl, 51 cars signed in for night one. We do understand there could be some more cars showing up later on in the week with Troy Wagaman, with Steve Buckwalter, a couple other guys as well. But a really, really good field of cars assembled here for night one of the Tuscarora 50.
Yeah, no doubt about it. You know, the great thing about the format that we have this week is that it's all standalone events, right? So tonight's program really has nothing to do with tomorrow night's program, and the night before the 50 has really nothing to do with the Tuscarora 50, right? Because after all, the Tuscarora 50 has its own qualifying format, which is pretty interesting. We'll get to that later on in the show. But yeah, huge weekend here at the Port Royal Speedway. We kicked off early in the week on Labor Day with the annual False Jewelers Incorporated of Lewistown Labor Day Classic. Had a couple days off. We were able to have a golf tournament benefiting the York County Racing Club and your Drivers Fund last night to really kick off the weekend. And here we are, night number one of the Tuscarora 50.
This is going to be fun. So much stuff to do here at this racetrack with the fair going on. There's a Ferris wheel, there's rides, there's all kinds of different food vendors and things like that for everybody to take in here tonight and tomorrow and the next day as well. Here is the weather forecast we got for you. 75 degrees here this afternoon. Winds at just 3 miles per hour and clear skies. So it's another great day for some high-limit racing sprint car action. Now, let's look at the race schedule. The next two nights are utilizing the normal Kubota high-limit racing format. Then on Saturday, as Earl mentioned, there's a little bit of a different format we'll talk about when we get there. But the scheduled events for tonight, hot laps and qualifying as per usual, will kick off tonight. We'll have 4 heat races, a dash. We will also have a C main, a B main, and then 25 lap feature for $10,000 to win, $1,000 to start. Our last race winner with the series coming just on Saturday night at the Skagit Speedway in Washington as Rico Abreu got a $102,626 to win main event over there in Washington State. And that was a huge win, the biggest win of Rico's career. And as we mentioned there, tonight, tomorrow does not matter, does not have any issue with there. It doesn't set you up or anything like that for Saturday. That's a completely standalone event on Saturday night. So if somebody's not here tonight, they could show up tomorrow, they could show up on Saturday and still have just as good of a shot as the 51 drivers that are signed in here this afternoon. Now let's take a look at the purse for this afternoon. This is the same purse that you'll see tomorrow as well. $10,000 to win, $1,000 to start. And a lot of people are always asking me, Chase, what's it look like between first and 24th? Well, there's a good look at it right there. $5,000 for second, $3,000 for third. And this is the normal purse that we see with high limit racing when we have a multi-day event at the same racetrack. We saw this purse going on at the Skagit Speedway as well. And the same thing at the Gold Cup for the first 2 nights for both of those events. And then the big money's on the line come Saturday. Now the track facts, let's take a look at those as well here for the Port Royal Speedway. We are in the... what is it called? The Borough of Juniata? Or whatever?
The Port Royal Borough in Juniata County, Pennsylvania.
That's what I was going for. And you can see right there, opened here in 1938. So it's been around a very long time. Half-mile racetrack, track record set by Brian Brown here in 2018 on October 28th at 14.868 seconds. So a really, really good lap there for Brian Brown. And Earl, if you look at that map right there, bottom left of your screen, it felt like just a few days ago. That little arrow pointing at where we are at was on the complete opposite side of the country. These teams with high limit, the high limit officials as well, it's been, we had some time off in quotes, but there was still a lot of driving going on.
Yeah, no doubt about it. I mean, that's over, I think, a 30-hour drive, I'm pretty sure, from coast to coast. And, your guys' West Coast swing was a good one. I was able to keep up all week long when you guys were out there on FloRacing, especially when you ended it with the Skagit Nationals. And what a great event that has become. And, I mean, just crazy how this year has been, but you guys come back on the East Coast, and to be honest, the Tuscarora 50 weekend really kicks off the month of money here in Central PA, right? Because just so much money is on the line through the month of September and October.
There certainly is, and we are excited to kick it off here with Kubota High-Limit Racing. So fans are starting to make their way into their seats. Cars will be hitting the track for hot laps at 6:15, so about 25 minutes away from hot laps getting onto the Speedway. So we'll be right back here on FloRacing with more of our pre-race coverage on night one of the Tuscarora 50. And welcome back to continuing pre-race coverage on night one of the Tuscarora 50 here at the Port Royal Speedway in Port Royal, Pennsylvania, with Kubota High-Limit Racing, Chase Rodman, Earl Hoon Jr., and Tony Laporta bringing you all the action here on FloRacing. And it's also presented by HVAC Distributors here tonight. So it is night one of the Tuscarora 50 presented by HVAC Distributors, which is a full-service wholesale distributor and manufacturer's representative of residential and light commercial heating and air conditioning equipment and accessories. We serve the residential new construction, residential replacement, and light commercial segments of the HVAC industry in Pennsylvania, Maryland, Delaware, Northern Virginia, and Western New York. So we talk about this being one of the most historic events in the state of Pennsylvania. This year it is the 57th edition of this race, the 57th annual. Last year, obviously, it was the 56th, and if you were not around, maybe you're a brand new sprint car fan, maybe you didn't get to watch the highlights, maybe you didn't get to watch it live on Flo. Well, luckily for you, we've got a quick recap of last year's Tuscarora 50 finale.
Because, ladies and gentlemen, it is time to light the fires and kick the tires here at the Port Royal Speedway, and the Tuscarora 50 is green.
Chase Randall going to lead him off at turn number 2. Brian Brown into the third spot. He's side by side with Brett Marks down the backstretch. Now Brown takes third into turn number 3. Brian Brown to third. Brent Shear challenging for the lead, but Chase Randall will lead lap 1 of the Tuscarora 50. But boy, able to pull away from Brent Marks, and Brent Marks put the heat on him. Marks is right there, though. Here comes Brent Marks right back at the 9-out. Marks down to the inside. Slider, he's got him in turn number 2. Here comes Chase Randall, though. He'll drop the nose and drop the hammer down the backstretch. But Brent Marks will take control as Brian Brown took third momentarily from Brent Shear. Yellow flag. Oh, Casey Kane in turn number 2, and that will negate Brent Marks' pass for the lead. Back to green through the Real Geese Silhouette Decoys Goose Cone.
Randa brings him down. He'll roll right through the middle. Mark's looking down low. There goes Brian Brown.
Rico
up in third. Now Rico, he's going to move into fourth.
Now
Not
third.
done yet. Trouble hard. Wreck there in turn 2. The red flag is out. That is going to be the 23 of Devin Borden. He just jumped the cushion going into 1, and it bit him in the center. Turns 1 and 2, and he's hanging on for dear life from there. Green flag is back out, and we're back underway. Randall once again leads him turns 1 and 2. Here comes Brent Marks driving right through. He'll complete the slide job there off of turn 2. Randall looking to come back on him. Can't quite do it. Brent Marks, he's going to be your new leader in the turns 3 and 4. As you see, Shear losing some momentum while they're off of turn number 4. Here comes Abreu. He's going to put the whip to her up top. The car got a little tight, though, on the entry in turn 1. Diamonds the corner. He really trails Shear. Now Rico down low, almost making contact into turn 3. They get it straight back out, and there goes the caution flag.
Halfway, lap 25. Got to let the cars get all the way through on that final lap before we throw the yellow flag. We are back underway at the 56th annual Tuscarora 50.
Marks will lead them back down in the turns number 1 and 2. Here comes Brian Brown. He's going to complete the slide job there on Randall. Randall, he was ready. He'll drive back by Brown and move up to the runner-up spot.
Brown goes right back after him over in 3 and 4. They work up the racetrack. Chase Randall holds him off. Rico challenging Brent Shear, but Shear not having any of it. Abreu got around him. Shear went right back around him to take the 4th spot back. Chase Randall is closing. Marks closing on the back of the pack. Getting into the proverbial dirty air. Going to have to start moving around. Randall's got an opportunity to close. He took 4 100s off that time. Chase, oh boy, got way high that time by him. Brown going to start to close in on him.
Shape it up that, but Danny Marks almost getting. Brent Marks spins out turn 4 and gets it to the guardrail. Brian Brown almost getting by. Rico Abreu almost getting by. Oh my goodness. Randall brings him down to the cone. Green flag is out. We're back underway. Here comes Rico Abreu down low, slides up. Rico off the pace off of turn number 2. No one getting into him. Caution flag is out.
Wow. 16 to go. Real Geese Silhouette Decoys Goose Cone. Mallory brings us back to green. Great restart for Chase Randall there.
Already put 5 car lengths in between him and Brian Brown. Here comes Kofoid down low at Brown. A great battle for the runner-up spot. They drag race into turns number 3. Kofoid down low. Can he complete the slide job off of turn number 4? Yes, he can. Brian Brown, however, he's looking to go back inside. Oh, things got close up the line.
Brown going to slide back up the racetrack. Kofoid through the rough stuff, and oh, Brownie nearly taps the wall. They're side by side down the backstretch. This is exactly what Chase Randall wants out front. Wants him racing hard for the 2nd spot so he can run away and high this time by. 14 to go for Chase Randall. What a battle for 2nd.
Buddy Kofoid back up into the runner-up spot. Here comes Brownie with another slide job there in turn 2. Slides up out of the groove. Kofoid, he'll drive back by.
What a story this would be if Chase Randall could win the Tuscarora 50 in his first
Kofoid off the pace off of turn number 2. Buddy Kofoid off the pace on the back straightaway. And the caution flag will wave once more.
Larson has been coming to life late. Oh, there's Brown showing the nose. Here we go. 18 years old, 7 laps away from a $60,000 payday. Brown going to dive down to the inside of the racetrack, trying to make the move. Randall through the tough stuff, side by side, nearly into the fence. Down the backstretch, Brian Brown to the lead.
Here comes Kyle Larson looking to go 2 for 1. Randall back down low, draws alongside. Brian Brown can't make that pass. He'll slide out of the groove. Larson, he'll move up into the runner-up spot.
6 laps to go. Kyle Larson into the 2nd spot. Brian Brown trying to pull away. 10 car lengths separate them. Laps winding down here at the Tuscarora 50.
5 more laps to go. Brian Brown is your leader. Kyle Larson looking to track him down.
A month ago, his stepdaughter, Michaela, brought cash into the world. He became a grandpa. He's one lap away from a $62,000 payday. Larson trying to reel him in. Final 2 left-hand turns.
Brian Brown into 4. Checker flag is out, and Blackjack Brian Brown is going to win the Tuscarora 50. Finishing second, Kyle Larson, and rounding out the podium is going to be Chase Randall.
What a topsy-turvy Tuscarora 50 that was last year, Earl. There is your winner. His first race back since appendix surgery 13 days ago. Brian Brown, he is back here at the Port Royal Speedway trying to go back-to-back here at one of Pennsylvania's most famous races. And you look back at that race, you watch those highlights, it seemed like you did not want to be up front. So many guys having issues with the race of attrition, and Brian Brown came out on top for a $56,000 win.
Yeah, I remember making this statement during that race. Does anyone really want to win the race? Because it just seems like you got up front, something would break. But yeah, good to have Brownie here. You know, we were just going over the driver roster, and I've been so busy today, I haven't really been able to get into the pit area. And I said, well, Brian Brown's here? I mean, you just mentioned it. He just had surgery about, a week and a half ago. Remember, he put a little video out on social media updating everyone on his health. He was doing good. He maybe overdid it a little bit during the time he had to rest right after surgery, and that sent him back a couple days. But hey, he loves the East Coast, he loves Central PA, and he really loves the Port Royal Speedway.
He certainly does. He was in good spirits. I caught up with him earlier on in the pit area. Like you said, 13 days ago was when that surgery took place, but he says he's feeling good. I asked him, what's the doctor say about recovery time? He's like, I forgot. He's ready to get back behind the wheel, and so we'll see if Brownie can have himself another good weekend here in Port Royal, Pennsylvania. Let's take another break here on Flow. When we come back, we'll wrap things up with our pre-race show, and then cars will hit the racetrack for Dirt Draft Hot Laps here tonight on night 1 of the Tuscarora 50.
The Forney Easy Weld 140 MP is a 4-in-1 machine.
MIG, FluxCore, Sticker TIG. We've got you covered.
It runs on standard household power and perfect for the beginner or experienced welder. Forney Easy Weld.
My name is Corey Day. I'm from Clovis, California. Racing in Brian's name basically is huge to me. I grew up, watching Brian, and he was awesome. It's cool to be racing for Driven to Save Lives. I get to represent it and, hopefully get more people to sign up for organ donation.
When it comes to magneto ignition performance, there's only one name that you can trust, and that's BR Motorsports Ignitioneering. Servicing the racing industry for over 30 years, our state-of-the-art Magneto Dyno Test Lab facility is equipped with the most technically advanced equipment available. And that's why crew chiefs like Paul Silva and Philip Dietz choose BR for all their ignition needs. To learn more, visit us at brpromag.com.
Introducing the My Kubota app. With My Kubota, connecting with your local dealer is easier than ever. Find them with just a tap and contact them quickly for any assistance you need. Access comprehensive resources like how-to guides, owner's manuals, fault codes, maintenance schedules, and more. Everything you need to keep your Kubota running smoothly. Download the app today.
Hey everyone, and welcome back to FloRacing's live coverage of the kickoff, the opening night of the Tuscarora 50 here at the Port Royal Speedway. Tony Laporta down here in the infield with you. I'm down in the infield because they wouldn't let me get on the Ferris wheel. It's the 170th annual, I hope I'm remembering that number, the 170th annual Juniata County Fair going on all around us here at the Port Royal Speedway. They wouldn't let me on the Ferris wheel because they said there was a weight limit. Chase, can you believe that? They won't let me ride. But my helping the weight limit probably won't go along well with the fact that I've already had 2 servings of the world-famous turkey dinner here just behind the front stretch grandstands. If you don't want to hear me talk about the fair food here this weekend, hit mute, turn it off. I don't know what to tell you because we're going to be talking about that fair food. This is such a fun atmosphere, such a fun weekend of racing for sprint cars, not just in central Pennsylvania, but all around the country. People have their eyes on the Tuscarora 50 and what is going on here at the Port Royal Speedway. And in walking through the pits, despite the really fun atmosphere and the lightheartedness and the excitement for this event, Chase, Earl, I kind of want to hear your opinions on this as well. Chase, specifically yours, being from California yourself, and you and I just coming from the Northwest and the West Coast where High Limit had 11 races in 17 nights. Something very unique I find when we come here to central Pennsylvania. When you walk through the pit area at a track for the first time, or at least the first time in a while, you meet the locals, you meet the race teams, the car owners, the drivers that are competing with the high rollers that night, that weekend, whatever it may be. And out on the West Coast, it kind of felt, I don't know, a little bit lighter, a little bit more laid back. You walked around the pits, you walked into people's pit area, you walked up to cars, you met drivers, you met teams, and it was just kind of a very casual sort of feeling. Not that the pit area here is unwelcoming, but the intensity level in the pit area here at Port Royal this weekend just feels ramped up. And Chase, again, being a West Coaster yourself and us just having come from the West Coast with High Limit, I wonder if maybe you had any of the same kind of feeling of just, yes, this is a big weekend. Yes, there's a lot on the line. Yes, it's a crown jewel race here at the Port Royal Speedway. But the intensity in that pit area already on the opening night of the 57th running of the Tuscarora 50 feels amped up. The locals know what's on the line. The high rollers know what's on the line. The folks in the grandstands and back there behind know what's on the line. And you can feel it. You can really tell it as you walk through the pit area here. People know this is a very big race weekend.
Oh, it certainly is, Tony. 57 runnings of this race in the past. It is a very big deal. I think only one other race in the state of Pennsylvania really trumps it, and that would be obviously the National Open at Williams Grove. But 57 races and so many different winners on that list. I think that's why the intensity's ramped up. Obviously, you want to join that list of those drivers. You want to have a $57,000 win. It's going to be a huge crowd, a huge field of cars. This is a race that if you win, people will remember it for a very, very long time. I mean, Brian Brown winning last night, or not last night, but last year, that was a surprise. Not many people would have said that Brian Brown is a guy that is going to win the Tuscarora 50 in 2023. Could we potentially see another somewhat surprise winner of this race, Earl? With 51 cars in the pit area tonight and maybe even more later on, I certainly think that could be definitely a possibility.
Is all the unknowns, right? We have talented drivers back in the pit area, right? And it's a who's who. It's anybody's game tonight. I mean, it's just all the unknowns, all the storylines coming into this event. I mean, if this track slicks off and gets all the way up to the boards, which we predict it will, you hit a guardrail just wrong, not blows a right rear tire, your night is done, right? So it's just all the unknowns that come into the Tuscarora 50 weekend that makes it interesting.
Yeah, and Tony mentioned, I mean, it is, it's cutthroat down there in the pits right now, man. I mean, people know what's on the line, especially these PA guys, man. This is a big race for them. A lot of these guys have been racing in this area their entire careers, their entire lives. They grew up watching this race, and it's obviously a very, very big deal for them. Now, I wanted to look at this as well. The former Tuscarora 50 winners. There is the who's who have won this race in the past. We just talked about Brian Brown winning it last year. Anthony Macri, he won it in 2022. Logan Wagner, 21. DeWeese in 20. Reitzel in 19 shots. So we're on a streak of about 6 different winners right now, looking for 7. So, I mean, look at some of the names on this list. Smokey Snellbecker. I mean, you got Doug Wolfgang on there, Keith Kaufman, Greg Hodnett, Fred Raymer, Don Kreitz, Doug Esch, Brian Monteith. I mean, the list goes on and on and on for some of the best sprint car drivers, not only on the East Coast and in Central PA, but, national guys as well.
But you also look at this name, or look at this list at these names, and it's like some of these guys is where they got their start and where they got noticed after winning the Tuscarora 50. Look at 1992. He shocked the world. Lenny Krautheim III, right? A very underfunded team at that time was able to take home the checker flag in the Tuscarora 50. Mr. Excitement, Todd Schaefer, he was able to get, like you said, the list goes on and on. But just when you look at that and dissect those names, it's definitely a who's who when it comes to 410 sprint car racing.
I mean, it certainly is. I keep looking at it here. I mean, Bobby Allen's on there, Dave Blaney, Lynn Paxton, Kenny Weld. I mean, the names that have won this race, it's absolutely unbelievable. And for some of these guys to join that list, Tony, it would certainly be a huge, for some of them, maybe the biggest accomplishment of their career.
Absolutely. And the thing I don't want to let get lost in this discussion, you guys are doing a great job bringing up the names. I can't see all the same graphics down here in the infield that folks on Flo are watching. I don't want it to get lost that we're sweeping the West Coast and the big races out there under the rugs, right? $102,626. Brad Sweet, Rico Abreu both said on the podium in Skagit last weekend, the Sage Fruit Skagit Nationals is a crown jewel sprint car race. And right before that, you had the 70th annual running of the Gold Cup Race of Champions. There are still major, massive, huge races out on the West Coast, and there are those legacy cars and teams out there, and you have so much talent that comes from the West Coast and ends up moving east and racing nationally. But really, more of the sentiment I'm trying to push across is you have, I feel like you have way more family and legacy cars and those long-standing names in winged sprint car racing that come out of this region of central Pennsylvania. I'm not just talking about the drivers either. You've got some of the best crew chiefs in the game, whether working for High Rollers or World of Outlaws regulars. So many of those really talented wrenches come out of this region. And when you walk into the pit area, at least for a guy like me that was not born and raised and washed in this sport, it's a little intimidating. I'll admit it, to go through the pit area and go up to some of these old school cars with these numbers you've seen forever and ever and ever, and go up and just start an out of the blue conversation with a car owner or a driver that you've seen or read about for a long time. And I think all of that, along with how big this weekend is, really just kind of lends itself to how intense it is in the pit area right now. Not taking anything at all away from the West Coast, but this is a very important race this weekend.
Well, I think another part of it, Earl, is this place races 410s on a weekly basis. I mean, we just came from the Gold Cup. They don't race a ton at Silver Dollar Speedway throughout the year. Skagit, they're just getting the 410 stuff back going. But Port Royal runs they ran, I think, 17 races this year. So these guys that are here tonight that run Port Royal on a weekly basis, they've been practicing. They've been trying to get the notebook and the setup dialed in. It's kind of like the guys that race in Knoxville all year. They are doing that to prepare for the Nationals. The guys that run at Port Royal, maybe they aren't doing it just for the Tuscarora 50, but it certainly helps, and they go run other places and whatnot. But racing here on a weekly basis should hopefully give those guys a little bit of a leg up on the competition when it comes to those, high rollers.
Yeah, and I mean, look at our schedule too. I mean, we just don't. For our regular shows, we pay $5,000 to win, right? But then look at all the other big shows we have. Obviously, we have the Bob Weichert Memorial. That paid $75,000 to win. We had the Jim Klein Tribute Race earlier, courtesy of Sandy Klein and family. That paid $22,000 to win. And then we have obviously other high-paying shows sprinkled in there with PA Speed Week and whatnot. But, yeah, I mean, these guys come here to race for the money, and like you guys said, get that track time that they need to put those setups to work when it comes to Tuscarora 50 weekend.
Well, 3 drivers that have been able to put those setups together and put a whole race together for 50 long laps around this half mile are Anthony Macri, Lance DeWeese, and Brent Marks. They have all won this race in the past, and they've all had, DeWeese hasn't ran a ton this year. He's got a win or 2 under his belt there this year, 2 wins, as you can see on the screen now. Macri with 15. Marks has been on the trail with High Limit Racing, got a couple of wins under his belt, an outlaw win as well. But you look at these numbers for these guys. I mean, top 5s for Anthony Macri this year, 32, 43 top 10s. He got the win here in 2022, and we couldn't even fit almost all the wins for Lance on there. On the bottom of the screen, 94, 01, 02, 06, 16, 17, 20. He's won this race in what looks to be 4 decades. 4 decades of winning the Tuscarora 50 for Lance DeWeese. You can see right there, Brent Marks won it here in 2015.
The question is, and everyone is looking at this, Lance lead all drivers in the win category when it comes to Tuscarora 50s, right? He's looking to get his 8th Tuscarora 50 win here this year. In the last couple events leading up to this race, Lance has been in attendance, but it really hasn't gone well for him, right? He's either had mechanical issues or getting caught up in someone's wrecks out there or something like that. Lance is trying to shake the bad luck off him. Can he do that here this weekend, beginning with tonight?
We'll have to wait and see. Obviously, Lance, one of the greatest of all time, if not the greatest of all time here at the Port Royal Speedway. 123 wins, I believe, at the last count for him, and a lot of track championships to go along with it. 6-time track champion. We just mentioned 7-time Tuscarora 50 winner. This guy knows this track better than anybody else, but the guy that's really dominated here over the last couple of years is Anthony Macri. And, you know, I was telling somebody earlier on, I mean, when it comes to the PA Posse guys, and the one that is really, really tough to beat right now has got to be Macri. He's won so many races here over the last couple of years, including, obviously, the Tuscarora 50. He's won a bunch of weekly shows as well. And I think when the track gets like how we normally see it here at Port Royal, if he starts anywhere in the first 5 rows of this race on Saturday night, he is going to be the guy to beat. But, you know, there's a lot of guys that are going to be coming after him. And these 3 guys are going to be coming after those 3 guys and all the other former winners of this race in the field tonight. As we mentioned, 51 cars. There is not many slouches back there in the pit area, and so we're looking forward to seeing who is going to come out on top out of the next 3 nights of action. So we were supposed to have hot laps going at 6:15. We are a little bit behind schedule, so we're going to take a quick break here on Flow. We'll come back and we'll give you an update as to when we will see cars on the racetrack for Dirt Draft hot laps here tonight. And welcome back here. Cars are now on the racetrack for Motor Heat this Excuse me, as I accidentally clicked the wrong button on my microphone there. Earl, you've never done that before.
No, never.
No, never. Absolutely never. But cars are on the racetrack as Motor Heat has begun on night one of the Tuscarora 50 here at the Port Royal Speedway. Chase Rodman, Earl Hoon Jr., and Tony Laporta are with you, bringing all the action here on FloRacing. 51 cars are signed in for night one of this historic event. And, man, some of these cars... it's good. I mean, there's a couple of interesting stories out there. Earl, obviously, one of them about to get fired off on the front stretch. Ryan Timms driving one of the Hefner Racing Enterprises number 27 cars. Be interesting to see how he goes here this afternoon.
Yeah, no doubt about it. That news broke earlier in the week, and Timms was successful in his own machine, here at the Port Royal Speedway. But, hey, Mike Hefner said, well, I want to get this kid a chance. And it's good to have when Hefner Enterprises bring all their sprint cars up here for competition.
Absolutely. We should see Troy Wagaman Jr. later on in the week in the other Hefner car as well. Another guy that's going to be running a different number than usual is Cy Lynch. He'll be subbing in for Tanner Thorson, as Thorson just welcomed his new baby girl into the world, Blake Lee, earlier on this week. Tanner's wife, Shaylee, and him celebrating that birth of their first child. And so Tanner Thorson going to be sticking at home in Oklahoma as they will be watching on FloRacing, taking care of that new child. So Cy Lynch will be running. It's his own 42 car, and it's just got the 88 on the wing for him for owner's points. And the reasoning for that is it's pretty close at owner's points. He's only 6 points behind the Rudine Racing 26 for Zeb Wise in 11th, and he's less than 50 behind for the top 10 position. So that's why Cy Lynch will be in the 88 tonight. Tony, what do you got?
Lynch driving the number 88 to help earn car owner points for Tanner Thorson and Rod Gross Motorsports. But also don't forget Brent Marks and his wife Bailey having their first child together just yesterday morning. I think something like 5:50 or just before 6 a.m. Brent and his wife welcomed their daughter Jocelyn into the world. So obviously much different circumstances that allow Brent to be here as he lives in the beautiful state of Pennsylvania. So not logistically as crazy as it was for Tanner and Shaylee, but Brent Marks welcoming his daughter into the world yesterday morning. So pretty crazy to have two high rollers both have their daughters within just a couple of days of each other. But yeah, we do miss Tanner, and can't wait to see him and Britton and Lawton all back together. It sounds like they'll be back with us in Lernerville working on that number 88 for Rod Gross Motorsports.
Now, what's also interesting, Tony, about that is how we just went 18 days in California. We only had 3 or 4 days in between the Tuscarora 50 weekend, and they somehow just works out perfectly to where they can have those kids on the days where we aren't racing.
Well, Brent talked about, yes, you are right. Like, talk about some good planning back in the winter before everything got going. All jokes aside, though, Brent Marks was very honest with me, and he said that he comes in to this Tuscarora 50 weekend and getting ready to race here at the Port Royal Speedway with what he said felt like a literal weight lifted off of his shoulders, because there was so much stress and so much worry with him and his Murray Marks Motorsports team committed to being out on the West Coast for those 11 races and 17 nights. They knew they had to be out there. They knew they did not want to miss any of those races. But the whole time he was out there on the West Coast, he was stressed, he was worried, and he was constantly thinking about the logistics and what would go on if he got that phone call to get back to Pennsylvania earlier than Labor Day Sunday. So he said that he feels like a totally different guy. The weight is off of his shoulders, and he is much more relaxed than he has been for probably around a month or a month and a half, worried about making sure all the logistics worked out, and he would be here to help welcome Jocelyn into the world. Is that going to translate into some really stellar on-track performances for Brent Marks? We'll have to wait and see. But he just talked about how much better he feels walking through the pit area and how much less stressed he already is.
Well, you add that baby in the mix, Tony. You also add in the fact that his longtime crew member that got injured back at Lake Ozark is back as well. Fudd, Dennis Christ, he is back here for the first race since being injured. You the baby, he's coming off a great run, 8th place at the Sagefruit Skagit Nationals to cap off that West Coast swing. We already mentioned earlier, Brent, former Tuscarora 50 winner and 15-time winner here at Port Royal Speedway. So that sounds like a lot of good things going right for Brent Marks right now.
Well, and not only is Fudd, Dennis Christ, back here and back in the pit area, he's not just standing around with a cold drink in his hand watching.
Working.
He is. He was working. He was walking around the back end of that car for Brent Marks, and he is helping out. I joked with him. I said, Bud, they already got you back here working. He said, might as well. What else am I doing? So, yeah, really cool for Brent to have Fudd back here. And he also added, not only is he less stressed because of the logistics and the fear of potentially missing the birth of his child, not only are those all gone and he feels better for that, he just talked about feeling overwhelmed with happiness that he got to meet his daughter and was there for the birth, and just how happy he is right now that everything went well, everything went smoothly, and he was able to be here for the birth. So, yeah, Brent Marks, he's living La Vida Loca. He's back here in Pennsylvania. He's having a Baja Blast, Chase.
I wish I had a Baja Blast. Earl, do you like Baja Blast?
I do. There we go. I hit the button.
Yeah, there's that button.
Yeah, there's that button. I mean, I love turkey dinners and all, but
oh yeah,
man, I could go for some Taco Bell. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. I'm sure TLP could eat some Taco Bell. I'm just saying.
Oh yeah, Tony, he gets 6 number ones. You know what number one is?
I used to get what is number one?
3 tacos.
Oh well, yeah. I used to just pretty much do that. Just I go all in and give me the box.
Earl, I'm glad to hear that you go all in because that's what we do here at Kubota High Limit Racing.
Yes, sir.
But also, do not listen to Chase. He can't count. He doesn't know he has no idea how many number ones I get. He also doesn't know that I don't get number ones. I go a la carte on the menu. So please don't listen to him.
I tell you what, I mean, have you guys been down to the church stand and
I did earlier
maybe getting
for the first
some
time.
Yeah, what you think?
Oh yeah.
Did you hang on? Chase,
hang on, Tony.
Yeah, TLP, you'll get your turn. Chase, what did you have down there?
I tried the ham dinner.
Excellent choice.
Yeah.
Tony, how about you?
Oh, I'm a traditionalist, Earl. I went for the turkey, and I will continue to go for the turkey the rest of this weekend.
And there's a look at it right there from the FloRacing drone. That building on the right there is where they're serving up some turkey, some ham, all that good stuff. And we got a video to show you here on FloRacing, documenting it and showing you a little bit more about that church stand down there.
We've made it to one of the greatest food stops in all of sprint car racing, the Speed Palace here at Port Royal Speedway, has the Juniati County Fair every single year for the Tuscarora 50. Well, during that, the Lutheran Church here in town hosts a church stand. And guess what? The food is tremendous. They got turkey, they got beef, some days they have ham. Let's check it out. Talking to Shanna, who has been working here since she was 8 years old. It's actually Dylan Sisney's sister. Your grandmother's been working here since she was 8 years old as well. What makes this such like a family event every year for you guys?
So Port Royal Lutheran Church, we've been born and raised in Port Royal. The church is part of our traditions. The races, the fairs are traditions. I'm the 4th generation. We have Mason, who is Dylan's son. He's the 5th, and my children are the 5th generation. So there's a lot of history and years here at the fair stand.
How long have you been doing this?
Probably since I've been 5. They left me dry dishes back then. They didn't like kids in the stand at all.
We had a ladies' Sunday school class back in 1930s. They started out with cooking on a smaller scale, and then it has just evolved over the years. They actually used to have a tent here where they would actually kill the chickens here and take the feathers off and cook them, and I said I would have been out.
We cook about 80 chickens. We cook about 200 turkeys. We probably do 200 gallons of corn.
All right, we have 1 beef and 1 turkey. I'm ordering at the church stand, and I hear this is your family's recipes, if you will, your grandma and your sisters now, working her butt off here. I got the beef. Was that a good decision?
That is good. I'm a turkey fan, though, so you can't go wrong with turkey. But this is our church down the street here in town, and they've been doing this for a long time, since 1930s when this stand opened. It says on the sign there. So it's a lot of good helpers that do everything here, and we couldn't do it without all of our good parishioners that volunteer their time to help our church raise some money here this week, and something that the fans love to come and eat at.
Turkey's the biggest seller.
After cooking 160 of them, you get tired of turkey, so I go with the ham.
Yeah.
Is there an extra pride knowing that your grandma feeds all these sprint car drivers? She seems to love a lot of them. She's like spitting off names of the drivers that you race against.
Oh yeah, well she enjoyed celebrity waitering time yesterday. Me, Rico Schoenberg, Logan Wagner, Mike Walter. We were in here. We were serving meals yesterday at lunchtime. So she enjoyed that, teaching Rico and everything how to fill up a plate and what portions to give. And so we had a good time together.
Rico gave me a hug yesterday. I like Logan. I like Hunter, too.
Did you work here?
Yeah, you know, these are my memories I have whenever I was a child, coming here on Labor Day for the Classic. You can get here early. There used to be a big oak tree out front. You put your lawn chairs out, and everybody would wait for the doors to open up here and get your seat to have your dinner. So it's a pretty special place, and hopefully we can keep it going for years to come.
Dude, this would make my grandmother blush. Oh my goodness. Incredible. Some of the best food in all of sprint car racing happens at the Port Royal Speedway. Sprint cars, church stand food, can't go wrong.
Such good food down there, Earl. We were able to experience it for the first time today. I got the ham. Tomorrow I'm going to get the turkey and give that a shot. And they also had really good stuffing. That was the first time I have actually enjoyed stuffing, just because it's got a weird name and it just looks kind of weird. I tried theirs today. It was really good.
And you know what? With the ham dinner, you get green beans, too.
Oh, yeah. I got
Huge
that, yeah.
fan of green beans.
Green beans, peas, broccoli. That's why I got so tall, is all those good green
But regardless, when you come out to the Juniata County Fair, plethora of food trailers, right? Come here hungry. I mean, even when you enjoy the races from the infield, make sure you check out the Packers concession stands, because thanks to those great brothers, the Packers boys, they do so much here at the Port Royal Speedway, and they officially sponsor the Fast Time Award each night. And tonight, it's going to be $300 courtesy of Packers concessions to whoever sets fast time overall during qualifying.
Well, speaking of a little extra money, we got also some contingency money here tonight. A $1,000 Warrior Award going to a driver that finishes 15th through 24th in tonight's main event. A random draw there. Also $1,000 as well for the B main drivers that finish from 10th to last in the B, going $1,000 as well, and then a $500 hard charger.
Yeah, and courtesy of Sandy Klein from J&S Classics, those Warrior Awards can come to fruition here at the Port Royal Speedway. So once again, we'd like to thank Sandy Klein for everything she does here at the Speed Palace.
Well, we already talked a little bit about Cy Lynch. We've talked a little bit about Brian Brown, but we haven't really dug too deep into their stories. You know, obviously Brian Brown with the appendix surgery here recently, and Cy Lynch being the substitute, the super sub for Tanner Thorson this weekend. Luckily, though, FloRacing's own Tyler Burnett able to sit down with both of them earlier on today and learn some more details about their situations.
Brian Brown's the defending Tuscarora 50 winner. He's back to defend his title. Little hiccup this past couple of weeks, right? How you feeling, first off?
Yeah, I feel great. Yeah, a lot better than I did 13 days ago. So, yeah, just excited to be back here, and no fun sitting around watching all the guys have fun racing across the country for a lot of money. So, felt like we're up for the task. So, no better place to come than to come back to the Tuscarora 50. Just such an awesome event. It would have been a big shame if we couldn't have been here for this weekend.
I was going to say, you don't spend a lot of summers sidelined watching races, streams, like that. It's got to be painful, probably more painful than your injury.
Yeah, it's not fun, but, thankful that, there's such great broadcasts like Flo that allow us to turn on the TV and watch all the great action across the country. So it's enjoyed the racing, man. There's a great racing, whether it's with the High Limit or the Outlaws the last couple weeks. That a lot of great talent in our sport, a lot of great, not just from the driver's seat, but from the crew side of it, from the broadcaster side of it. Just the sport's in a great spot, and I think sometimes when you step back and you eliminate yourself from the scene a little bit, being a driver and an owner, you kind of see it from a different lens. And just like I said, that's there's times throughout the summer that you said, man, I wish I had a couple weeks off or need a break, and until they take that away from you and say you can't race, and then it sucks. But I'm glad to be back.
That time you're thinking about it, racing, you had this race to think about, right? A race that you won last year. The Outlaw guys were here. What was that night like for you? I mean, you said in Victory Lane, just thanks for sharing this moment with me, with all the fans, but what was it like to win in PA?
Yeah, it's probably one of the, if not the biggest win of my career. It's one thing to beat the best of the best on your home turf in Knoxville or someplace that's close to your stomping grounds, but when you go out of your comfort zone and you go to somebody else's territory and you beat all the good guys, and you put your name on the list of some legends in our sport. You know, Tuscarora 50, in my opinion, is a crown jewel. If not the biggest race on the East Coast, the top 2 or 3 biggest races on the East Coast. So to put your name on that list, and they can never take it off. It's going to be on a T-shirt forever, and have that trophy in my shop. It's a pretty unbelievable night, and the unfortunate part is that last year means 0. So you still have to come in this week and improve yourself, get qualified, and get yourself in a good spot. And like I said, hopefully the guys on the Casey's FEP team unload me a hot rod where makes my job easy all weekend long.
And welcome back to Port Royal Speedway. Cars are making their way onto the racetrack for Dirt Draft Hot Lap session number 1 here tonight. Dirt Draft will be the presenting sponsor of Hot Laps for every high limit racing event in 2024. The Dirt Draft app allows you to play against hundreds of dirt racing fans across the country. Simply select 5 drivers each night while staying under a $100,000 salary cap and accumulate points in the process. Use those points in the speed shop to buy all kinds of things. Download the Dirt Draft app today or visit DirtDraft.com for more information. Let's introduce you to the first group of drivers in Dirt Draft session number 1. On the very inside of that first row, it's the driver making his high limit racing debut tonight. From Wells Taney, Pennsylvania, it's the R&R Motorsports Thompson Town, Cornerstone Deli, Mac McGee Motorsports. Number 95, it's Garrett Bard.
And from Hanover, in the Pels Tire Service, RF Knox Company, the Auto Barn, RSI Outdoors, car number 1A, that's Jacob Allen. Jacob Allen in the 1A.
And right next to him, from Port Royal, Pennsylvania, the Valley Supply, Dryden, SCA Incorporated, Gibbsville Cheese, Juniata Concrete, number 5, it's the Mayor, Dylan Sisney.
Also staging out here on the front straightaway, from Beaver Springs in the Wise Market, Sage Fruit, Salem RV, Bud Godek Auto Body, Smoking Gun Fabrication, car number 35K, that's Jake Karklin. Jake Karklin in the 35K.
And in the second row behind those guys, from Enumclaw, Washington, it's the Casey Kane Racer, Mike Kerr, Bruno's Collection, Factory Kane Shocks, Kane Screen Print number 9, that's Casey Kane.
And pulling up alongside Kane there in car number 39, he's from East Berlin in the Tron Outdoor, J Fuels Brewer Home Improvements, Moose Blocks, GPS Plumbing, car number 39, that's Cody Hartlob. Cody Hartlob in the 39.
Also on the racetrack from Oklahoma City, Oklahoma, the Hefner Racing Enterprises, Lincoln Speedway, Lelands.com, Frozen Farmer, number 27H. That's Ryan Timms. Ryan Timms in the 27H. I believe that other car might be a 305 there, Earl, as he's getting motor heat in the 61 back there. So it looks like we will have about 9 cars out there for Hot Lap session number 1 here in Dirt Draft Hot Laps. The teams will make their way into the infield with the mules and things like that. Then the drivers, once they're done with Hot Laps, will pull into the infield in the back straightaway, come around and get themselves prepared for what will be 3-car qualifying here tonight on night 1 of the Tuscarora 50. Just waiting to see those cars come to life, but it's about to get started here, Earl. Great crowd on hand here for Hot Laps. We expect to see even more people filling in the grandstands as the night goes on.
Yeah, the great thing comes Saturday, this grandstands is all but sold out. We're into single-digit reserve seats left. If you would like to sit in one of those seats, you can go to the Speedway office. They can give you all the information that you need to purchase one, but we are just in single digits for reserve seating come Saturday night.
Another driver that's going to be in this first Hot Lap session from Elverson, Pennsylvania. It's the Charpak Cole Moose Meadows Cozy Clothes Tensor Aviation Studio 895, number 35. That's Austin Bishop. Austin Bishop in the 35. We are missing another car. Do not see him out there right now, unless it's the car on the very outside of that final row, but I don't think it is. What do you see down there, Earl? You're a little bit closer.
I'm trying to look as well, and that is also another 305. Okay. So we are missing, as of right now, the driver out of Lewistown in the Stetchcock Performance car number 2C of Vince Snyder.
Yeah, so Vince Snyder not making the call here for Dirt Draft Hot Laps. As cars come to life, we'll see the 21 and the, I believe that's the 01, pull off here in just a few moments as they are just getting hot lap or getting motor heat in those 305 sprint cars, which is the support division here tonight. 24 of them. Should be, I believe, a 3-heat race program and just a feature event for them as well. As you see, Dylan Sisney, we just saw him in that video talking about the church stand down there with the turkey and the ham dinners, and the mayor, He's actually the mayor here at Port Royal, Pennsylvania, and he's had a decent year here, up there in the point standings, and looking to have a good Tuscarora 50.
Yeah. Mr. Consistency, he has 11 top 10s coming into tonight's event. He also got that one win, which came back all the way on April 20th, and he also finished 5th this past Labor Day.
He has he's 5th in the overall point standings right here at Port Royal. 9 career wins at this racetrack for him. Tony?
Yeah, Chase, as we get ready to get going here, that 39 Cody Hartlob heading down to turn number 1. It's John Trone's really well-known race car, really well-known team, and just obviously a well-known operation that I'm sure Earl can expand on much better than a guy that is not from Pennsylvania, such as myself. But did just want to pass along, was just notified that the owner of that car, John Trone, will be going in for what sounds like pretty major heart surgery this coming Monday. And he's not here tonight. It sounds like the plan is for John to make it out here tomorrow or Saturday, hopefully both. But he's back home, we understand, watching live on FloRacing right now. He's already had an operation or 2, if I remember correctly. So major heart surgery is obviously a big deal, and we just want to send our best from down here in the pits to John and know that Monday is a pretty big deal, and we hope to see him out here at the track either tomorrow or Saturday, hopefully both nights.
Absolutely. Thank you very much for that, Tony. Cody Hartlob, the driver of that Trone Outdoor number 39. His second start with High Limit Racing was a 13th place finisher at the Lernerville Speedway a few weeks back. 17th, his best finish here at Port Royal. That came on April 27th of this year. And I think he's got a pretty good driver in that thing now, as Hartlob has been turning some heads here throughout the year. There's Ryan Timms, as he's making an appearance behind another car that is not the family-owned 5T. He got a win with Guy Forbrick at Houston Speedway in his 5 car, and now going to run the next 3 nights in the Hefner 27H. It should be an interesting pairing.
So cars still idling around the Port Royal Speedway. This is Hot Lap Session number 1, presented by Dirt Draft. Once again, race fans, we thank you so much for coming out here to night number 1 at Tuscarora 50 weekend here at the Port Royal Speedway. If you're making your way into the seats here on the grandstands, we do want to let you know, if you are sitting in the seat that has a reserve sticker on the back side of it, you don't own that seat, we're going to ask you to please vacate that area and move into a seat that does not have a reserve sticker on it. As here we go, Chase, we're going to wind them up and turn them loose for a Hot Lap Session number 1, brought to you by Dirt Draft. Austin Bishop was able to catch up with him yesterday. He was one of our golf players. He can strike the ball well, and you know what? We were able to talk some shop there, and Austin Bishop, he's more of a driver that loves to flat foot around, so the way this track is right now, heavy to start off, he's loving these track conditions.
We'll see if he can turn in a good lap, and he does, up to the 3rd spot on the board. Casey Kane goes to the top, and car number 9 at 16.842. Cody Hartlob overtakes him, and so does Jacob Allen. 16.499 so far. He is the fastest. The white flag is about to come out here in just a moment.
Garrett Bard coming down into turn 1 right now. He's going to go 3rd quick. Was able to get a couple wins in the 410 a couple weeks ago, as right now caution flag waves.
Looks like Hartlob the fastest at 16.204. Car number 39, 16204. Dylan Cisney is second quick right now at 16.456. Jacob Allen in third at 16.499. Garrett Bard fourth, 16.549. And Austin Bishop in fifth at 16.582. Casey Kane, Jake Carklin, and Ryan Timms, the 8 cars so far in Dirt Draft Hot Laps.
So we're going to have the cars idle around here, run in the loose dirt and the cushion, and then we're going to break them loose for another couple laps or 2. This really helps bring the track back in. You know, they had to put water on a little late today to make for superb racing conditions. So this first session, we'll, you know, turn them loose through the green flag, let them really dig into the surface, let them run in the loose stuff, and then the track really comes back after that.
Looking forward to seeing when the lights go out here tonight, and just seeing all the different, the Ferris wheel over there to our right, all the different rides going around, the lights and things like that. I don't think I've ever actually been to a race where there was a fair actually going on, so I'm kind of looking forward to how that'll look, especially on the FloRacing drone shot.
I guess this is your first Tuscarora 50 weekend and Juniata County Fair.
It is. I was here at the Tusky last year, but it was rescheduled,
right,
so it doesn't really count.
Right, yeah, you're exactly right. So here we go. Green flag going to come back out here on hot lap session number 1, brought to you by Dirt Draft.
And green lights come back on. Hartlaub. There's Jake Carklin, 35K, and Dylan Cisney in the 5. Cisney currently second on the speed charts at 16,456. Jacob Allen, the first driver into the 15-second bracket at a 15.999, 15999. There goes Austin Bishop. You're talking about Earl. He goes to the top, 15.941 in the 35.
So the track is getting faster as the checkered flag waves. Jacob Allen now, he's going to go to the top of the board. Good lap for him. So yeah, track is starting to come in, has some character on both ends of it, so it's going to be really interesting to see what this track does here throughout Dirt Draft Hot Laps.
Checkered flag comes out. The drivers will now slow down and make their way into the infield and prepare themselves for Capital Custom Trailer qualifying. Jacob Allen, tonight the fastest overall in Dirt Draft Hot Laps in group number 1, 15.774 for the 1A. Austin Bishop in second, 15.802. Cody Hartlaub in third at 15.874. Garrett Bard fourth, 15.947. And Casey Kane rounds out the top 5 at 16.068. Dylan Cisney, Ryan Timms, and Jake Carklin will be your 8 cars. There is the 1A of Jacob Allen making his way to the infield. His father, Bobby, 2-time Tuscarora 50 champion.
So we will bring out the second group of Dirt Draft Hot Laps here for night number 1 of the Tuscarora 50 weekend at the Port Royal Speedway. For all you race fans, you could take a peek at the plethora of sprint cars that are going to go into the infield. Those drivers are going to make those final adjustments to see what they can do and see if they can set fast time during Packers Concessions qualifying coming up a little bit later on.
Let's take a look at the group number 2 drivers. The first one onto the Speedway. He is the defending Tuscarora 50 champion. From Higginsville, Missouri, it's the Casey's FVP Andy's Frozen Custard, Foltz Excavating, Impact Signs, Stamen Motorsports number 21 of Blackjack, Brian Brown.
And from Indianapolis, Indiana, and the NOS Energy Drink, Elliott's Custom Trailers and Carts, Spire Motorsports, car number 7 BC. This is Sunshine of Tyler Courtney. Tyler Courtney in the 7 BC.
Also on the racetrack from Lebanon, Indiana, the True Timber Camo, Nice Crete and Landis Block, JRC Transportation, High Performance Lubricants, PhilPools.com. Number 5, that's Spencer Baston. Spencer Baston in the 5.
And from Mechanicsburg and the Hauling Allabach Racing, Old Milwaukee, Orange Crate Brewing Company, Bear Hill Gang, car number 5W, it's Lucas Wolf. Lucas Wolf in the 5W.
Also on the racetrack, it's the driver from Neptune City, New Jersey, the Capital Custom Trailers and Coaches, Coors Banquet Beer, Easy Go, number 91. That's Kyle Reinhart. Kyle Reinhart in the 91.
And from Myerstown in the M&M Painting and Construction, McRubid.com, Bats Paints, Livewire Customs, car number 19. That's Brent Marks. Brent Marks in the 19.
And to the right of Brent from Lebanon, Pennsylvania, it's the Adams Auto Sales, Fredericksburg Eagle Hotel, Key Warranty, Blue Rock Farms, Garden Spot Auto Auction, number 99A. That's Devin Adams. Devin Adams in the 99A.
And from Sealands Grove, there he is, in the Rose Post Center Roofing and Contracting, Victory Auto, BK Motorsports, car number 77, that's Michael Walter. Michael Walter in the 77.
And the winner of the most recent feature here at Port Royal Speedway is on the Speedway as well. It's the driver from Harrisonville, Pennsylvania, the Sainer Brothers, Mac McGee Motorsports, Glendale Station, G&P Distributors, Kreitz Oval Track Parts, number 69K. It's Logan Wagner. Logan Wagner in the 69K.
And should be the final car out there in the second group of hot laps rolling off of turn number 2. He's from Lewistown in the Stetchcock Performance, car number 2C. That's Vince Snyder. Vince Snyder in the 2C.
Snyder making his high limit racing debut tonight. Was supposed to be out there in that first hot lap session, but he did not make it, so here he is in the second one. Tony.
Saw something interesting, guys, once that first group from Dirt Draft Hot Laps pulled in. The 35K of Jake Carklin went 8th quick out of the 8 cars on track, a 16.304. There may be a little bit more to that than we would have originally believed. Jake hopped out of the race car, headed over to the infield fence that separates the infield fan area from the infield work area here. inside the Port Royal Speedway. He hopped the fence and took off running, checked in with his crew. He has not been feeling good. Not sure if it's like a stomach bug or what, but he had to get to a bathroom immediately. He has not been feeling good for the last couple hours, and he did not feel good in that race car. And it's not a setup or a handling issue, it's a health issue. So going to do our best to keep an eye on Jake and find out what he's fighting and hopefully find out that he's getting better soon. But Kirkland fighting a little bit of a stomach issue down here in the pit area.
Well, that was quick because you could see Kirkland already back to his crew, talking things over what he needs in that Wise Market Sage Fruit 35K for Packers Concessions qualifying. But how about that old Eagle Eye TLP down there in the infield?
Kirkland will be the first car onto the racetrack, and I just found out why I keep missing the button. There is another thing right next to me that our friend Brad Strasser.
Too.
Yeah, Brad Strasser is going to be using that one later for the 305s, and I keep pressing the button on that one as we go to the green here in Dirt Draft Hot Lap session number 2.
Logan Wagner, there he is in the 69K, was able to pick up the win on Monday during Labor Day. He has 5 feature wins so far this season, looking to get another track title.
There is Spencer Baston, former World of Outlaws winner here at the Port Royal Speedway. That was back in 2021.
Brent Marks, no stranger to victory lane here at the Speed Palace. See what he has here on night number 1.
Brian Brown goes to the top, 15.616, 15.616. Logan Wagner and Mike Walter will join him in the top 3 positions as the checkered flag comes out. Oh, maybe an issue for Marks here on the front straightaway.
So Marks off the pace going into turn 1, but the checkered flag is out. He will duck into the infield with the rest of the group. How about it? You called it. Last year's Tuscarora feature winner Brian Brown now to the top of the board. His fastest lap was a 15.616, 15.616.
Logan Wagner in the second spot in car number 69K at a 15.647. Mike Walter in the 77 at 15.770, third quick. And then Jacob Allen and Austin Bishop from group number 1. Behind them, you got Tyler Courtney in 6th. 7th was Cody Hartlob. 8th, Kyle Reinhardt. 9th to Lucas Wolf. And 10th at this point in time, the 95 of Garrett Bard. Tony Reporta, what do you got?
Early already called it. Jake Kirkland made it back to his car pretty quickly. You're thinking, wow, that's pretty quick for a guy that's fighting a stomach bug. Well, that's because he's not fighting a stomach bug. To keep it PG, Jake confirmed that it was not a sickness issue. He overhydrated in the heat of the afternoon here, and he wasn't sure he was going to make it. So that is why we saw the rapid movement out of the driver of the 35K. He's good. He feels ready, and he'll be out on track for Capital Custom Trailers qualifying very soon.
Hydration is key.
It certainly is, and I feel him there as I drink a lot of water throughout these race nights, and I need to go do what he did a lot of times throughout the race night. As we continue on, Dirt Draft Hot Lap session number 3, the first driver on that inside row, right side of your FloRacing screen, he is the defending Bob Weichert Memorial winner from Gettysburg, Pennsylvania. The Derek Snyder Self-Made Racing, Weichert's Livestock RV 4-wheel drive, York Excavating number 48. It's Danny Dietrich. Danny Dietrich in the 48.
And from Medford, New Jersey, in the Mid-Atlantic Transportation, J.G. Cronenberger, Milky Way Restaurant, Pioneer Auto Body. Car number 67, this is J.W. of Justin Whittall. Justin Whittall in the 67.
And Brent Marks is heading back to the trailer, so possibly an engine issue there that they're going to need to fix before he gets back out for qualifying, but Brent Marks is heading back to the trailer in that 19 car. Also on the Speedway, the driver from Liverpool, Pennsylvania, is the Mountain View Travel Village Square Plaza, High-Tech Metals, Smith Titanium number 11. It's TJ Stutz. TJ Stutz in the 11.
And from Raymond, Washington, in the Trico Heavy Industrial, Mount Ridge Metals, Patton Sons, Moose Blocks, Hohen Schelt Welding. Car number 23, this is the Daredevil of Devin Borden. Devin Borden in the 23.
Also on the racetrack from Visalia, California, the Commercial Edge, Rasmussen Service Center, Elliott's Custom Trailers, Fulkins Brothers Trucking, Bargain Barn. Number 8, it's Corey Eliason. Corey Eliason in the 8.
And from Alice Springs, Northern Territory, in the Mobile One Toyota Racing Development, Rolf Enterprises, HR Livestock Transportation. Car number 83, that's James McFadden. James McFadden in the 83.
And rolling behind him on the back straightaway from Lubbock, Texas, the High Plains Building Division, Carbon Safety Technology, Lubbock Wrecker, 5 Nights Truck Accessories, ShopTruckParts.com, number 1 of Brenham Crouch. Brenham Crouch in the 1.
And from Newville in the TWF Manufacturing, Metro Truck and Trailer Sales, car number 12W, that is Troy Fraker. Troy Fraker in the 12W.
All cars are fired up here in our third hot lap session of the night. We'll keep an eye on see if we can catch a glimpse of the 19 of Brent Marks making his way back into the infield. Not sure as of there right now what the issue is for Marks. We assume it is an engine issue that takes him all the way back to the trailer. You can see the hood is off down there, Earl, and if it is an engine issue, you will see them nose that car into the back of the trailer.
You know, this is a long night to begin with, and with you possibly having to change engines before Packers Concessions qualifying, your night even got longer in this one. So we're going to keep our eye on the situation of Brent Marks, as looks like the team is going to have to do a motor change. Good luck right there of Rob Kirk, head starter here at the Port Royal Speedway. His assistant, Ryan Benny, they're going to let the field know that green lights are on, boys. Let's get going. You said it, Danny Dietrich right there was able to pick up the big $75,000 paycheck back in May, taking home the Bob Weichert Memorial Championship.
We'll see if anybody's got anything for Brian Brown's time of 15.616, the track record holder, currently at the top of the speed charts. There goes McFadden right to the top, 15.542, 15.542. The only driver that finished top 10 in all 10 West Coast races with High Limit Racing goes to the top.
Justin Whittall, he's also going to break into the top 5 right there.
Danny Dietrich up to the 5th spot at 15.710 as the yellow flag comes out.
So the track definitely coming in, getting faster. As you said it, James McFadden now, new driver at the top of the pylon. You can look at that at the Bobby Ray Hall at Toyota Lewistown scoreboard. His fastest lap was a 15.542.
And right behind him was Justin Whittall in the 67 at 15.551. Brian Brown third, Logan Wagner in fourth, and Danny Dietrich fifth at 15.710. Mike Walter, Jacob Allen, Austin Bishop, Brenham Crouch, and Tyler Courtney. Top 10 so far in hot laps, and you're getting a look at it right there. Taking the headers off, and that is a telltale sign right there, Earl, that they've got a major issue.
Yeah, Heath Moyle right there. He's going to start screwing off bolts here, getting that engine loose, and yeah, time is the essence for the crew of the Brent Marks machine. They have got to get that motor changed now. The real question is, can they change that motor for them to come out in Packers Concessions qualifying?
He is what looks to be about the 11th or 12th car to come out to qualify, so he's got to get going here pretty quick, and that team has been busy here recently. They drove, I want to say somebody told me it was 11 hours a day to get back from Washington State to make it here for the Tuscarora 50 weekend. So let's continue on with Dirt Draft Hot Laps. The car on the very inside of that first row from Geneva, New York. It's the Frado Granite Curbing number 22. That's Jonathan Preston. Jonathan Preston in the 22.
And to the right of Preston from Myerstown in the K.R. Perry Trucking, DMH Solar, Shots Auto and Trailer Repair, Harrow Associates, car number 55S. That's Dallas Schott. Dallas Schott in the 55S.
And also on the racetrack from Sealands Grove, Pennsylvania, the Packers Concessions, Mertz & Associates, Century 21, Creasy Signs, Victory Fuel. Number 12, that's Blaine Heimbach. Blaine Heimbach in the 12.
And from Salfordville in the Transeast Equipment, Pioneer Pole Buildings, Ken's Tire, car number 51, this is Freddie Raymer. Freddie Raymer in the 51.
And also on the racetrack on that back row from Monrovia, Indiana, that's the Avanti Windows and Doors, Big Spring Car Wash, Water Treatment by Design, RKL Paving number 13. That's Justin Peck. Justin Peck in the 13.
And from Dillsburg in the Chet's Trunks RV 4-wheel drive, Eric's Tint Shop, Bruce's Speed Shop, Advanced Tooling Solutions. Car number 47K, that's Cody Lehman. Cody Lehman in the 47K.
Rolling into turn number 1 now from Angola, Indiana, the Sundollar Restoration, Ford Performance, Sage Fruit, Race for Dean Foundation, number 26. That's Zeb Wise. Zeb Wise in the 26.
Also out there in this hot lap session From Apollo, in the Mercedes Motorsports, Ducati of Pittsburgh, Diesel Property Management, MAV Motorsports, car number 88. This is Cy Lynch. Cy Lynch in the 88 this evening.
And also on the racetrack, from New Oxford, Pennsylvania, the Weaver's Body Shop, K.R. Perry Trucking, Big Daddy's Grill, or Major League Sports Bar, Imes Auctions, number 33. That's Gerard McIntyre Jr. Gerard McIntyre in the 33. Those appear to be the drivers in our fourth dirt draft hot lap session of the night as they get the signal to get up to speed and get going here at full speed. Lap time they need to beat 15:5:42 to be at the top of dirt draft hot laps as they get up to full song now down the front straightaway.
There you see the 2013 track champion Blaine Heimbach. Good to have him back in action here tonight.
There is Zeb Wise, former World of Outlaws winner here at the Port Royal Speedway, that coming just last year. And there is Freddie Raymer making his way down the front straightaway. Fastest so far in this group is going to be Cy Lynch at 6 quick at 15:730, 15730, and then Justin Peck right behind him at 7th quick at 15:750. So Cy Lynch and Justin Peck the best so far in this fourth hot lap group. Yellow lights come on around the speedway, and that will do it for our fourth dirt draft hot lap session of the night. James McFadden still the fastest overall at 15.542. Then it's Justin Whittle, Brian Brown, Logan Wagner, and Danny Dietrich, the top 5. The fastest driver in that group in 6th overall, the 88 of Cy Lynch, 15.730. Justin Peck was 7th quick in the 13 car at 15.750. Mike Walter, the 2nd, Jacob Allen, and Austin Bishop, the 10 cars in the top 10 cars so far in dirt draft hot laps. As you get a good look at Cy Lynch making his way back towards his crew. Next group of cars start to roll into the speedway, Earl.
And you know what? I'm also taking a look at the infield here, Chase, and our presenting sponsor tonight, HVAC Distributors. They're set up down there in the infield by the American flag. They have a HVAC unit, an air conditioning unit currently on, cooling the infield, if you will. So we'd like to welcome everyone from HVAC Distributors here this evening.
Next group of cars rolling onto the racetrack. First car on the speedway, it is the current points leader with Kubota Highland Racing from Grass Valley, California. The Casey Kane Racer, Mike Curb, Napa Auto Parts, Brumo's Collection, Maxima Racewell's number 49. It's the Big Cat, Brad Sweet. Brad Sweet in the 49.
And from Ephrata, in the JNS Classics, Fleet Reps, Reeser Motorsports, Keystone Ag Spray, Tree Center, car number 45. That's Jeff Halligan. Jeff Halligan in the 45.
Also on the racetrack from Clovis, California, the Sander Engineering, Four Seas Construction, Autry Plumbing, SynCal, Driven to Save Lives. Number 14, the driver is Corey Day. Corey Day in the 14.
And from Sikeston, Missouri, in the Iowa Barnstormers, Des Moines Industrial Products, Jersey Freeze, Central Iowa Sheds, Webb Family Farms, car number 2KS. This is Hunter Percent of Hunter Schurenberg. Hunter Schurenberg in the 2KS.
Also on the racetrack, the current points leader here at Port Royal Speedway. From Harrisonville, Pennsylvania, the Mac McGee Motorsports, John Ott Racing, A. Miller & Associates, Clugston Lumber Company, Alexander Financial, number 55W. It's the legend, Mike Wagner. Mike Wagner in the 55W.
And from Kunkletown in the Western Mountain Incorporated, Black Diamond Equipment, Denochick Logging, Seeger Radiator, car number 6, the Kunkletown Kid of Ryan Smith. Ryan Smith in car number 6.
And from Canton, Illinois, it's the NOS Energy Drink, Logan Contractor, Elliott's Custom Trailers, TK Concrete, Zip Bonds, number 55. It's the Bear, Chris Wyndham. Chris Wyndham in the 55.
And final driver out there in this hot lap session from Fayetteville in the Drohan Brick, House Seal Plumbing, Glenville Station, Conduit Connections, Shearer Welding, car number 12D. This is LD of Lance Deweese. Lance Deweese in the 12D.
Tony, what do you got for us?
Yeah, down here in the Marks Motorsports pit, guys. Hopefully you can hear me. You can probably see on the drone right now, they have just backed Brent Marks' number 19 out of the Murray Marks hauler. They've already got the old engine out of it. It is a complete power plant swap. The old engine coming out, new one going in. Jared Goodling, the crew member, right there on the right rear corner of Brent's number 19. Did not give me much info, just explained it is a full engine swap. Not sure if they heard it, not sure if Brent heard something he didn't like, but they are doing a full engine swap for Brent Marks before qualifying.
Well, they got to kind of hurry up here. We're only got one more group left to run, and here's maybe 10 cars in front of him for Dirt Draft Hot Lap, or for qualifying. And Brad Sweet goes to the top in the 49, 15.322. The next fastest in this group is Hunter Schoenberg, an 8th quick at 15.740 so far.
And a lot of smoke coming out of Lance DeWeese's machine as he will stop right at the entrance into the infield. You can see Lance starting to unbuckle. He's going to get out of the Glenville Station Pub and Grub, car number 12. Not sure quite exactly what happened, but a lot of smoke was pouring out of Lance DeWeese's machine.
Tony Laporta going to be a busy guy as he's going to need to check in on the number 12 car, the multi-time Tuscarora 50 champion. And he parks in a little bit of a precarious position because that's where all of our drivers need to pull in to get towards their pit stall on the front straightaway. But Brad Sweet is the fastest now in car number 49. A 15.322 was the lap time for him. James McFadden in second, Justin Whittle in third, Brian Brown fourth, and Logan Wagner in fifth. Sixth was Danny Dietrich. Seventh is Cy Lynch. Eighth was Hunter Schoenberg in the 2KS at 15.740. And then Justin Peck, 9th, Corey Day 10th at 15.769. Those three drivers, Sweet, Schoenberg, and Day, making their way into the top 10 in Dirt Draft Hot Laps as we continue to look and see what is going on back there with the Barry Shearer, number 12, driven by Lance DeWeese.
So another story developing. We've been touching about it all night, or excuse me, during the entire Dirt Draft Hot Laps. But Brent Marks, for you race fans that can't see into the pit area, they have that car in the trailer. Looks like they're about to pull the motor out of it, I want to say. So they're definitely going to work, starting to rush around. But think about this, right? They're about to pull that motor, put a new one in a very quick amount of time to try to get ready for Packers Concessions qualifying. Don't you think if you were a crew member, the main object is to replace that engine, but then you got to think, is everything tight when you get into the 19, and making sure all the fasteners are tight, you have no oil leaks, no leaks at all out of the engine, and because you don't want something to happen and you forgetting to tighten a bolt, you lose fluid and you blow another motor, then your night is completely done.
Yeah, hopefully they can get everything tightened up and buttoned up. There's Ron Rutherford right there in that blue shirt with the 19 on the back. Rutherford, the owner of Mama's Pizza, located not too far away here from Port Royal. And man, if you want to go play craps with somebody and watch him make some money, that's the guy right there, Ron Rutherford. He is not afraid to throw a couple bucks down on box cars, snake eyes, whatever you want. Rutherford is the guy to follow on the craps table as they continue to work on Brent Marks' car. We did get Lance DeWeese into the infield, and DeWeese is stopped right there, kind of pointing towards the exit ramp there, and we'll see if they do make that hard right-hand turn towards the pit area. Right now, he's still sitting there as we roll cars onto the racetrack for the next hot lap session. And the first driver on the Speedway, he's the winner of the last two Kubota Highland Racing feature events, including one that paid $102,000. From St. Helena, California, the Rico Abreu, Kerbagajanian Racing, Bear Bear Printing, El Bandito, Yankee Tequila, Mesquite Valley Transportation, Whiskey Myers. Number 24, it's Rico Abreu. Rico Abreu in the 24.
And from Kokomo, Indiana, in the Chalk Sticks Torsion Bars, Elite Wings, High Performance Lubricants, Octane Inc., Walkopedia, car number 9P. This is the law firm of Parker Price Miller. Parker Price Miller in the 9P.
And also on the Speedway, former Tuscarora 50 champion from Dillsburg, Pennsylvania, the J&S Classics, Valley Supply, C&D Rigging, Class 1 Transportation, DMS Trash, number 39M. It's Anthony Macri. Anthony Macri in the 39M.
Also shoving off here on the front straightaway, that driver comes from New York in the Zemco Speed Equipment, Zemco Headers, Zemco Tool and Die, CMC Coatings, D&M Truck and Trailer Services, car number 1Z. This is Chase Dietz. Chase Dietz in the 1Z.
The 2020 Tuscarora 50 champion from Clute, Texas, the Fulkins Brothers Trucking, STC, Bargain Barn, American Table, Commercial Edge. Number 87, that's 33-year-old Aaron Reitzel. Aaron Reitzel in the 87.
And about to go in the corner number 1 from Leduc, Alberta, Canada. In the Warrior Building Development, Pack Rat Dumpsters, Nelson Bros Construction, Building Packages Direct, card number 99. This is Skylar G. Skylar G in the 99.
And also on the racetrack, from New Freedom, Pennsylvania, the DL George & Sons, West End Sunoco, Dawson Performance, Kreiner's Racing Engines, DMI, number 27S. That's Robbie Kendall. Robbie Kendall in the 27S.
And final car out there in this hot lap session from Mifflintown in the Juniata Concrete. Bargain Barn, HP Engines, and Big Daddy's Grill and Chill, car number 10. That's Jake Waters. Jake Waters in the 10.
Tony, you got anything for us?
Chase, the update here in the pit area. The second car in just as many hot lap sessions. Lance Stowey's telling me a complete blown engine on the number 12. They are ready to move that car inside the hauler. They're moving things around inside. They're getting the lift out and ready. It will be another full engine swap here in the pits.
A tough start to the night for two former Tuscarora 50 champions. Also, another problem now is Parker Price Miller's car is off the pace in turn 4. PPM finishing 5th during the Weikert weekend here earlier this year. And that car is going to hang the hard right into the, or the hard left, I should say, into the infield in turn number 4. So PPM will take his car to the attention of his number 1 crew guy on the weekend, that being Zach Hampton this weekend. So we'll see what the issue could be for PPM as he gets pushed down in there out of harm's way.
Chase, I mean, just, you know, probably a mean nothing point here, but it's so cool to see guys like Lance Deweese and Brent Marks stay in their fire suits and jump to the help of their crews to make these mechanical changes, adjustments, and replacements. Lance Deweese, first one out of the car, well, rather out of the car and first one to the toolbox on the mule to help begin the necessary movements to replace the engine in his race car, just as Brent Marks was not available for a comment because he was inside that Murray Marks hauler helping swap out the power plant.
Well, we'll look to see the 12 and the 19 make their way back towards the infield here in the coming minutes. As we're underway with this final hot lap session, Chase Dietz goes into the top 5, 15.639 for car number 1Z. Anthony Macri, 11th quick so far in this final dirt draft hot lap session.
You mentioned it, Chase, right there. Rico Abreu coming off the biggest paying win of his career. Can he keep that momentum coming into this weekend's event?
Might be an issue here for Aaron Reitzel down the front straightaway. His car's off the pace. The 2020 Tuscarora 50 winner has a problem potentially as he was off the pace well before the rest of the cars and down by the inside wall. So we'll keep an eye on Reitzel, but fastest in that group and 5th quick overall, the 1Z of Chase Dietz, 15.639. The fastest overall tonight, however, in dirt draft hot laps in car number 49, it's the big cat, Brad Sweet, 15.322, 15.322. James McFadden in second, 15.542. Justin Whittle in third, 15.551. Brian Brown fourth at 15.616, and Chase Dietz in fifth, 15.639. Then you got Logan Wagner, Danny Dietrich, Cy Lynch, Hunter Schoenberg, and Justin Peck. And there indeed is an issue on that 87 car for Reitzel, Earl.
We'll see. I mean, you also got to think, is it a fuel problem? They only put so much fuel in the cars, right, for hot laps. They don't top them off like they would for a competitive race. But you got to think they put a little fuel in them. The air is just right here tonight. It's starting to cool off. They're going to make a lot more horsepower, which equals more fuel burn-off. So we'll keep our eye also on the 87. But for everyone tuning at home on FloRacing and for everyone here, Brent Marks looks like they got the engine changed. They're starting to put the headers on it. You could see Marks. He's starting to put the helmet in the car, looking things over, helping his crew out. The question is, can Brent Marks get this entire engine changed and come out for Packers Concessions qualifying?
Well, Earl, you guys can see right there from whatever shot you guys are looking at that Brent has got his helmet, his earpieces, he's got his Hans device, and he's making his way back towards that race car. I did get a chance to ask him if it was a complete blow-up like what Lance Deweese told us, or if he thought he just heard it. It's more of a preventative measure on Brent Marks's engine swap. He said that he could just feel it under an unusual amount of strain, is how Brent Marks described the feeling when he was out on track during dirt draft hot laps. So I take that as a preventative swap. They want to be safe. and they want to know they've got the best bullet inside that race car when it is go time here for Capital Custom Trailers qualifying. I do think, by the looks of it, Brent's about to get back in. They're going to go to work on putting the top wing back in. You should see Brent get back out in time here as they just now roll Lance DeWeese's number 12 inside the trailer. They will begin to pull his engine out. Meanwhile, the number 87 of Aaron Reitzel parks at his trailer. It feels like we're on pit lane at an IndyCar race or something here in the pit area right now.
A lot of cars with issues here as we now begin with Capital Custom Trailers qualifying presented by Packers Concessions. The first 3 cars to make their way onto the Speedway. From Beaver Springs, Pennsylvania, the Weiss Market, Sage Fruit, Salem RV, Bud Godek Auto Body, Smoky Gun Fabrication, number 35K. That's Jake Karkland. And also on the racetrack from Hanover, Pennsylvania, the Pels Tire Service, RF Knox Company, the Auto Barn, RSI Outdoors, number 1A of Jacob Allen. And the final car on this racetrack or in this session in his high limit debut from Wells Tannery, Pennsylvania, the R&R Motorsports, Thompson Town, Cornerstone Deli, Mac McGee Motorsports 95 of Garrett Bard. Lap 1 for the number 35K of Jake Karkland, 15.981. Jacob Allen goes to the top, 15.555, 15555. Bard is third quick on lap 1, 15.994, 15994. Karkland on his second time by is going to slow down to a 16.199. Jacob Allen on lap number 2, he will improve to a 15.551, 15551. And Garrett Bard jumps to second quick, 15.957, 15957. Jacob Allen the fastest at 15.551. Then Bard and Karkland for your first 3 qualifiers.
Next 3 drivers to hit the track. First one coming up the speed from Enumclaw, Washington, in the Casey Kane Racing with Mike Kerr, Brumos Collection, Factory Kane Shocks, Kane Screen Print, car number 9, that's Casey Kane. And joining him from Oklahoma City, Oklahoma, and Hefner Racing Enterprises, Lincoln Speedway, Lelands.com, Frozen Farmer, car number 27T of Ryan Timms, and coming to get the green flag from right here in Port Royal, and the Valley Supply, Dryden, SCA Incorporated, Gibbsville Cheese, Juniata Concrete, car number 5C, that's Dylan Cisney. First lap time for Casey Kane, second quick at a 15.856, 15.856. Ryan Timms clocks in fifth quick at a 15.990, 15.990. Dylan Cisney, sixth quick out of 6 cars so far at a 16.021, 16.021. Kane better on his second lap, still second quick at a 15.805. Timms improves, still fifth quick, 15.986. And Dylan Cisney slower on his second lap at a 16.030.
3 more cars getting pushed onto the racetrack for Capital Custom Trailer qualifying. From East Berlin, Pennsylvania, it's the Trone Outdoor, J Fuels, Brewer Home Improvements, Moose Blocks, GPS Plumbing, number 39, that is Cody Hartlob. Also on the racetrack from Elverson, Pennsylvania, the Charpak Cole, Moose Meadows, Cozy Clothes, Tensor Aviation Studio 895, number 35 of Austin Bishop. Looks like just 2 cars going to be going here in this session. 2 cars for this session as they both get the green flag. Cody Hartlob in his first attempt here at the Tuscarora 50 was a 13th place finisher earlier this year at Lernerville with high limit. Lap 1 is second quick, 15.776, 15.776. Elverson PA's Austin Bishop on lap 1, fourth quick, 15.847, 15.847. Bishop this year at the Port Royal Speedway, 7th in points, 6 top 10 finishes on the year. Lap 2 for Hartlob was better, still second quick, 15.776, and Bishop is better as well, 15.816. So seeing a little bit of a pattern here, looks like many guys going better on their second time by the line, Earl.
See if that stands true. As right now we have just a moment break in the action.
Guys, that break.
Go ahead, Tony.
That break, sorry, I don't mean to interrupt, but the break is to get the mule of the number 87 for Aaron Reitzel out of the infield. They got stuck down in the infield when Reitzel came off the track as a part of that last group of hot laps. Reitzel rolled in. Crew members immediately dropped down to check underneath the car to see if any fluid was dripping. The only words from Reitzel is it simply wouldn't run. They've been held up trying to get their mule here to the pit area. It has just now arrived. They'll go to work on taking the hood off.
Thank you, Tony. TLP doing a hell of a job right down in there in the pit area, bringing all the details. Here we go. Next 2 cars that we have. First one from Lewistown in the Setchcock Performance 2C. That's going to be Vince Snyder. And joining him from Lebanon in the Adams Auto Sales, Fredericksburg, Eagle Hotel, Key Warranty, Blue Rock Farms, Garden Spot Auto Auction, car number 99. That's Devin Adams. Vince Snyder, 9th quick on his first lap at a 16.634. Devin Adams just bumped him. He will go 9th quick now at a 16.248. Snyder looking to improve on his second lap. He will 10th quick right now at a 16.386 as Devin Adams comes down to the line. His second lap is going to be slower at a 16.264. Right now, Adams sits 9th quick in Capital Custom Trailers and Coaches qualifying, presented by Packers Concessions.
Here comes 3 more cars. First one onto the Speedway in this group from Indianapolis, Indiana, the NOS Energy Drink, Elliott's Custom Trailers and Carts, Spire Motorsports, number 7 BC, that's Sunshine, Tyler Courtney. Also on the racetrack from Neptune City, New Jersey, the Capital Custom Trailers and Coaches, Coors Banquet Beer, Easy Go, number 91 of Kyle Reinhardt. And your final car in this session, it's the driver from Mechanicsburg, the Hollinger Allenbach Racing, Old Milwaukee, Orange Crate Brewing, Beer Hill Gang, number 5W of Lucas Wolf. Lucas Wolf, Tyler Courtney, and Kyle Reinhardt on the clock now. First lap for Sunshine is going to be second quick, 15.742. 1.5742. Lap 1 for Kyle Reinhardt. He will go 6th quick at 15.918. 1.5918. Lap number 1 for Lucas Wolf. He is 4th quick, 15.804. Lap number 2 for the DJ of the night. He will slow down to a 15.946. First one better, 15.742. Kyle Reinhardt on lap number 2. He will slow down to a 15.944. And Lucas Wolf on lap number 2. Second quick, 15.565. 1.5565. That is second quick for Lucas Wolf. Third for Tyler Courtney. And 7th for Kyle Reinhardt.
As work continues on Aaron Wright's machine out in the pit area, they just got the headers off, so engine chain once again there. As we are back right here with the next 3 qualifiers coming up to speed in corner number 4 from Higginsville, Missouri. In the Casey's FVP, Andy's Frozen Custard, Fulch Excavating, Impact Science, Stamen Motorsports, car number 21 of Brian Brown. And joining him from Lebanon, Indiana in the True Timber Camo, Nice Crete and Landis, JR Transportation, High Performance Lubricants, FlowPools.com, car number 5. This is Spencer Baston. First lap time for Brown, 3rd quick at a 15.606. 15.606. Spencer Baston will clock in 8th quick at a 15.886. 15.886. Brian Brown looking to improve. Does he? No. Slower on his second lap. Still 3rd quick at a 15.686. And Spencer Baston also slower on his second lap at a 15.899. He sits 8th quick right now.
So we were supposed to see Brent Marks about 4 cars ago, and we do not see that car in the infield as of yet. So Marks, now I see him rolling towards the track right now, and we'll see if he will fire off from there and go to the green. So that is going to be the case. So Brent Marks is going to get underway now. He does miss his spot in the position there. Brent Marks now pulling onto the racetrack in the M&M Painting and Construction, McGrewBid.com, Baps Paint, Livewire Customs, number 19 car. He should be joined on the Speedway by the 77 of Mike Walter out of Selinsgrove, Pennsylvania.
We should have had a stopwatch going, because that was a very quick engine change. Race fans, how about it? Give them a round of applause, right? I mean, a blown engine during hot laps. They changed the motor probably within 15 minutes, probably less than that. How about that? And they're able to come back out for qualifying.
Great job by that team as he now gets fired off on the front straightaway. Mike Walter, as we mentioned, will join him out there in the 77. Walter driving the Rose Post Center Roofing and Contracting, Victory Auto BK Motorsports, number 77. And the other car in this group will be the driver from Harrisonville, Pennsylvania, the Sander Brothers, Mac McGee Motorsports, Glenville Station, G&P Distributors, Kreitz Oval Track Parts, number 69K. It is Logan Wagner. Logan Wagner, the 69K, Brent Marks in 19, Mike Walter in the 77. Marks and Walter will take the green, as does Wagner that time by. Brent Marks, we'll see how this engine runs. Lap number 1 for him is going to be 14th quick at 16.174, 16.174. Walter will go 14th now at 16.169, 16.169. Logan Wagner on lap 1, 3rd quick, 15.580, 15.580 on lap 1 for Logan Wagner. Lap 2 for Brent Marks. He will improve to 14th quick. Mike Walter, he will be better as well at 16.034. Marks was a 16.004. Wagner on the second time by 2/3. the top. 15,500. 15,500. Logan Wagner, now quickest overall in Capital Custom Trailer qualifying. Brent Marks 14th and Mike Walters 16th of those 3 cars.
Coming up to speed in corner number 2 from Gettysburg in the Derek Snyder Self-Made Racing, Weichert's Livestock, RV 4-wheel drive, York Excavating. Car number 48 of Danny Dietrich. Also joining him from Liverpool in the Mountain View Travel, Village Square Plaza, High Tech Metal, Smith Titanium. Car number 11, it's TJ Stutz, and the 3rd driver out here from Lubbock, Texas, in High Plains Building Division, Carbon Safety Technologies, Lubbock Wrecker, 5 Nights, Truck Accessories, ShopTruckParts.com. Car number 1, it's going to be Brenham Crouch. Danny Dietrich, 11th quick at a 15.945. TJ Stutz, 16th quick at a 16.009. Crouch, he will go 9th quick at a 15.827. Second lap for Dietrich. Does he improve? No, he's slower at a 16.044, still 12th quick. TJ Stutz improves, 16th quick now at a 15.997. Brenham Crouch also slower on his second lap at a 16.051.
Guys, the 12 of Lance Deweese has rolled back away from his trailer. They've got the new engine in that car. Meanwhile, the 87 for Aaron Reitzel has just rolled into their hauler. They're getting ready to take the old engine out and put a new one in. There is a lot going on back here in the pit area right now. Not sure where those guys are in the order or where we are in the order right now, but the engine swaps continue back here.
Keep us updated, Tony. Also on the racetrack now for this next trip from Raymond, Washington, the Traco Heavy Industrial, Mountain Ridge Metals, Patton Sons, Moose Blocks, Hohenschel Welding, number 23 of Devin Borden. And from Visalia, California, that is the Commercial Edge, Rasmussen Service Center, Elliott's Custom Trailers, Fulkins Brothers Trucking, Bargain Barn, number 8 of Corey Eliason. Borden on lap 1 is 21st quick. Other driver on the Speedway from Alice Springs, Northern Territory, Australia, the Mobile 1, Toyota Racing Development, Roth Enterprises, HR Livestock Transportation, 83 of James McFadden. Lap 1 for Eliason was 24th at 16.416. McFadden is 14th quick at 15.970. Borden is better on lap 2 to 22nd quick at 16.284. Eliason on lap 2, he will improve to 23rd at 16.377. And McFadden to the top 10 at 15.831. He was better on lap 2. McFadden was 10th. Then you got Borden 22nd and Eliason 23rd.
Next 3 drivers out to take time now in Capital Custom Trailers and Coaches qualifying, presented by Packers Concessions. Coming up to speed in corner number 3 from Medford, New Jersey, in the Mid-Atlantic Transportation, J.G. Cronenberger, Milky Way Restaurant, Pioneer Auto Body 67. It's going to be Justin Whittle, and joining him from Newville in the TWF Manufacturing Metro Truck and Trailer Service, car number 12W, that's Troy Fraker. Justin Whittle is able to pick up a checker flag this season. His first lap is going to be 11th quick at a 15.870, 15.870. Fraker will see the white flag now. He will clock in 26th quick at a 17.857, 17.857. Justin Whittle, second lap better. It's 7th quick at a 15.796, 15.796 for Whittle. As now Fraker will complete his qualifying. He's better on his second lap, still 26 quick at a 17.552, 17.552 for Fraker.
That completes Flight A of qualifying. Logan Wagner, the fastest in Flight A at 15.500. Jacob Allen, Lucas Wolf, Brian Brown, and Tyler Courtney, the top 5. As we continue on, Flight B is now hitting the Speedway. First 3 cars on the racetrack. From Apollo, Pennsylvania, the Mercedes Motorsports, Ducati of Pittsburgh, Diesel Property Management, MAV Motorsports, number 88, that's Cy Lynch. And also on the racetrack, it's going to be the driver from Dillsburg, PA, the Chet's Trunks, RV 4-wheel drive, Eric's Tent Shop, Bruce's Speed Shop, Advanced Tooling Solutions, 47K of Cody Lehman. And also on the racetrack from Angola, Indiana, the Sundollar Restoration, Ford Performance, Sage Fruit, Race Redeem Foundation, Hager Realty, number 26 of Zeb Wise. Zeb Wise, Cody Lehman, and Cy Lynch. Your first 3 qualifiers in Flight B. Lap 1 for Lynch is a 15.985, 15.985. Lehman on lap number 1, he's a 16.294, 16.294. And for Zeb Wise on lap number 1, he goes to second quick at 16.118, 16.118. Lynch looking for an improvement. He will find it, 15.933, 15.933. Lehman on the second time by the line is going to slow down by 1/1000, 16.295. And Zeb Wise on lap 2 is going to slow down as well to a 16.158. So it's Cy Lynch, Zeb Wise, and Cody Lehman after 3 qualifiers in Flight B.
Next 3 cars out. First one in turn 2 in the Fratto Granite curbing, car number 22 from Geneva, New York. That's going to be Jonathan Preston. And then from Myerstown in the K.R. Perry Trucking, DMH Solar, Shots Auto and Trailer Repair, Haro Associates, car number 55, that's going to be Dallas Schott. And final driver out here to take time in this group from Monrovia, Indiana. And the Avanti Windows and Doors, Big Spring Car Wash, Water Treatment by Design, Coastal Race Parts, car number 13, that's going to be Justin Peck. First lap time for Preston is going to be a 16.100, 16.100. Dallas Schott clocks in 5th quick at a 16.395. Justin Peck now, he will go to the top of the board with a 15.859, 15.859. Preston improves on his second lap, 3rd quick at a 16.077. Schott also better on his second lap, still 6th quick at a 16.316. And Justin Peck slower on his second lap at a 15.960. But right now, Justin Peck will set the pace with a 15.859.
Next 3 qualifiers. The first one onto the Speedway from Selinsgrove, Pennsylvania, the Packers Concessions, Mertz and Associates, Century 21, Creasy Signs, Victory Fuel number 12, that's Blaine Heimbach. And also on the racetrack from Salfordville, Pennsylvania, the Trans-East Equipment, Pioneer Pole Buildings, Ken's Tire number 51 of Freddie Raymer. And your final car in this group from New Oxford, Pennsylvania, the Weaver's Body Shop, K.R. Perry Trucking, Big Daddy's Grill, Major League Sports Bar, Imes Auctions number 33 of Gerard McIntyre. Lap 1 for Heimbach. It's going to be 3rd quick, 16.010, 16.010. Raymer on lap 1 is 6th quick, 16.282, 16.282. And lap 1 for McIntyre, 9th quick, 16.366, 16.366. Lap 1 for the former track champion, Blaine Heimbach. It's going to be in a slower time, 16.381. And for Raymer, he goes better, 16.225, still 6th quick overall. And McIntyre, he will slow down just barely to a 16.369. So Blaine Heimbach 3rd, Freddie Raymer 6th, and Gerard McIntyre in 9th.
First car out there, and it's threesome from Harrisonville, the Mac McGee Motorsports, John Knott Racing, Owen Miller and Associates, Cluxter Lumber Company, Alexander Financial Group. Car number 55W, it's going to be Mike Wagner. And then joining him from Grass Valley, California, in the Casey Kane Racing with Mike Curb, Napa Auto Parts, Brumo's Collection, Maximum Race Oils. Car number 49, it's Brad Sweet. And also taking time out there from Clovis, California, in the Sander Engineering, Four Seas Construction, Autry Plumbing, Cancel, Driven to Save Lives, 14, it's Corey Day. Brad Sweet, 3rd quick at a 16.004. Day, he'll clock in 7th quick at a 16.112. Mike Wagner, slower on his second lap, 5th quick at a 16.135. Brad Sweet, 2nd quick now at a 15.930. Corey Day on his second lap, he will go 4th quick now at a 16.010.
Guys, they've got Lance Deweese's number 12 back here to the push chute, and he's about to make his way out onto the track again. I've kind of lost track of the order and where we are in the mix of things here, but Deweese able to make it back out on track here for Capital Custom Trailers and Carts qualifying.
And Lance Deweese will not be penalized or anything like that. He did make it within 2 groups of cars, so Lance Deweese, he will get both of his laps, and he will not be penalized in any fashion. He did make it on time. So Deweese out there in Barry Shearer's number 12 car. It's the Drohan Brick, House Seal Plumbing, Glenville Station, Conduit Connection, Shearer Welding, number 12 car. And joining him on the Speedway for this group should be the driver out of Canton, Illinois. It's the NOS Energy Drink, Logan Contractor, Elliott's Custom Trailers, TK Concrete, Zip Bonds, number 55 of Chris Wyndham. And the final car in this group from Ephrata, Pennsylvania, the J&S Classics, Fleet Reps, Risser Motorsports, Keystone Ag Spray, Tree Center, number 45 of Jeff Halligan. So Jeff Halligan in the 45, Chris Wyndham in the 55, and Lance Deweese in the 12, your 3 cars for this next group. Under yellow flag conditions here, Deweese maybe enjoying these yellow flag conditions. We're only getting a little heat in the engine here.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Probably just going to look for the temperature gauges, see if everything's fine. But race fans, we did it for Brett Marks. Why don't we do it for LD as he runs down the front straightaway? Give him a big round of applause. His crew absolutely doing a phenomenal job of changing engines in the Shearer number 12.
They all get up to speed now, and we'll see if that engine can put Deweese down a good lap time. And now he's not getting up to speed. DeWeese's car going to pull into the infield on the back straightaway. That's going to leave us with 2 cars, that being Jeff Halligan and Chris Windham. So we'll keep an eye on the number 12 of DeWeese as Windham takes the green flag along with the 45 of Halligan. Chris Windham, a 2-time USAC Sprint Car winner here at Port Royal Speedway, was 8th in the 2022 Bob Weicker Memorial with the All-Stars. Best career finish here at Port Royal with the wing on top of the car. 10th quick on lap 1, 16.282. And for Halligan, 16.466 on lap 1 for him. Halligan, a 5-time Port Royal Speedway winner, 6th in the overall point standings, 15 races, 8 top 10s this year. Lap number 2 for Chris Windham. It's better, 7th quick, 16.063, 16063. Halligan on lap number 2. He's better to a 16.425. So Chris Windham 7th and Jeff Halligan 14th of 15 cars.
Next trio to come out and take time in Capital Custom Trailer and Coaches qualifying, brought to you by Packers Concessions. Rolling into turn number 3, the driver from Kunkletown and the Western Mountain Incorporated Black Diamond Equipment, Denochick Logging, Seeger Radiator. Car number 6, that's Ryan Smith. And joining him, getting the green flag now from Sykeston, Missouri, in the Iowa Barnstormers, Des Moines Industrial Products. Jersey Freeze, Central Iowa Sheds, Webb Family Farms, car number 2 KS of Hunter Schoenberg. And he was able to get a feature win a couple weeks ago. The driver comes from New Freedom in the DL George & Sons, West End Sunoco, Dawson Performance, Grinders Racing Engines, DMI 27S of Robbie Kendall. Kendall will go 13th quick on his first up at a 16.237. Ryan Smith is 8th quick overall with a 16.072. Hunter Schoenberg, he's 11th quick, his best lap, a 16.139. And Robbie Kendall slower on his lap at a 16.279. As I believe we also saw some smoke coming out of the 2KS machine of Hunter Schoenberg as we keep rolling on here with qualifying.
3 more cars making their way onto the Speedway. From Leduc, Alberta, Canada, that's the Warrior Building Development, Pack Rat Dumpsters, Nelson Brothers Construction, Building Packages Direct number 99 of Skylar G. And also on the racetrack from Dillsburg, Pennsylvania, the J&S Classics, Valley Supply, C&D Rigging, Class 1 Transportation, DMS Trash number 39M of Anthony Macri. And from Kokomo, Indiana, the Chalk 6 Torsion Bars, Elite Wings, High Performance Lubricants, Octane Inc., Wikipedia, number 9P, the law firm, Parker Price Miller. Parker Price Miller, Anthony Macri, and Skylar G, the 3 cars on the track. G is 12th quick on lap 1 at 16.209. Lap number 1 for Anthony Macri goes 4th quick, 15.934. 15.934 ppm on lap number 1, 11th quick at 16.093. 16093. Lap 2 for Skylar G, he will slow down to a 16.218. And for Macri on lap number 2, he goes to the top, 15.809. 15.809. Parker Price Miller jumps up into the top 5, 15.951. So Anthony Macri to the top, then Parker Price Miller 5th, and then back there a little bit farther down the order, Skylar G 14th. Next couple of cars onto the racetrack are led out by a driver making his Highlander Racing debut from Mifflintown, Pennsylvania, the Juniata Concrete, Bargain Barn, HP Engines, Big Daddy's Grill, and show number 10 at Jake Waters. And also on the racetrack from York, Pennsylvania, Zemco Speed Equipment, Headers, Tool and Die, CMC Coatings, DM Truck and Trailer number 1Z of Chase Dietz. And also on the racetrack from St. Helena, California, the Rico Ebru, Kerbagajanian Racing, Bear Bear Printing, El Bandito, Yankee Tequila, the Sea Valley Transportation, Whiskey Myers 24 of Rico Ebru. Waters, 21st on lap 1. There goes Chase Dietz for 14th quick at 16.157. And for Rico on lap number 1, he will go 11th quick, 16.075, 16075. Jake Waters on lap number 2, he will improve to a 16.844. And Chase Dietz on lap 2 goes up to 13th quick at 16.091, 16091. And for Rico on lap 2, 3rd quick, 15.928. 15928 for Abreu on lap 2. That is 3rd quick. Your fastest qualifier in Flight B tonight in the 39M. How about it for Anthony Macri? 15.809. Justin Peck in 2nd. Rico Abreu 3rd. Brad Sweet in 4th. And Cy Lynch will round out the top 5. But your overall quick qualifier here tonight, driving car number 69K, it is Logan Wagner. 15.500 for Wagner. He is the quickest overall here this afternoon. Former Tuscarora 50 champion. And the most recent winner here at the track back on Monday during the Labor Day Classic. And that car was absolutely stuck to the racetrack here. That thing did not twitch one bit going through 1 and 2. And a good shot here from our turn 1 camera of that lap time by Logan Wagner. So we got hot laps and qualifying in the books for Kubota Highland Racing. Before we can get to opening ceremonies, let's turn it over to the 305s. I don't see them on the racetrack quite yet, but 305 hot laps coming up here very shortly. So Stephanie Dotson and Brad Strasser will have the call of tonight's 305s. Brad, take it away.
Thank you, Chase. So yes, we will have 3 sessions of hot laps coming out here for the Penns Valley Meat Market PA Sprint Series Race Saver 305 sprint cars. And then following that, we will get into tonight's opening ceremonies, but we'll allow the 410 sprint cars to make their way off the turn 4 exit and back up into the pit area before we get the 305s out onto the track for their hot lap session. So Stephanie, good to have you here with us tonight. The top 27 were invited to race with us here tonight. Didn't get all 27. A few guys had some other commitments, but good to have them here, a part of the Tuscarora 50 weekend.
For sure, Brad. Actually, so only top, I think, 24 initially were going to be invited, but we want to thank Racing Insurance for adding money to allow 3 more drivers to have the opportunity to race tonight. So tonight's race is the 6th and final race here at the Juniata County Oval for the River Valley Builders Pennsylvania Sprint Series. Penns Valley Meat Market sponsors the Points Chase and Hard Charger Awards for the PA Sprint Series here at the track. Ken Duke Jr. leads by 55 points over Owen Dim, followed by Zach Rose and Cruz Kepner, who are only 5 points apart. And then Nick Swigert is 5th in points. But Nick is the one driver not here in attendance tonight. He's bear hunting up in Maine, so there's a good chance that other drivers could break into the top 5 in track points tonight. So we do have a battle in the top 5 here for track points at Port Royal here. And again, thanks to River Valley Builders for sponsoring our season-long chase for the Pennsylvania Sprint Series. But here at Port Royal Speedway, Penns Valley Meat Market sponsors our track points here at the Speedway.
Also want to welcome in Eddie Steinley, owner of TQ Fiberglass, watching with us here. Wish him best as he's watching. I had somebody stop me here earlier in the program. Just wanted to give a quick hello to him. So appreciate him and his support. Eddie Steinley, appreciate you tuning in with us here tonight. But Stephanie, we do have cars out on the track in staging. So as they come by, if you can give us who these guys are. And yeah, we'll get into the first session of hot laps.
For sure. We'll wait to get them pushed off just a bit. The PA Sprint Series, for those of you who don't know, who may be tuning in for the first time. Hey, there's our band down there. Say hello. Brad, do you know where the band is from?
Yeah, that's from right here. The Juniata High School Marching Band. They are performing for us here tonight, led by band director Brad Ergel. The Juniata High School Marching Band is a mix between our 2 county high schools, Juniata High School and East Juniata High School. They combine to help bring us a performance here tonight. They always do a great job. Brad Ergel does a fantastic job for them for high school football and putting on a good show, so we're happy to have them here tonight to perform.
What an exciting time for the band. We're happy they're here. Again, 410 still trying to get off the speedway here as we await Pennsylvania Sprint Series hot laps. But like I said, some of those tuning in to Flow for the high limit may not be familiar with the Pennsylvania Sprint Series. They're about one of 20 regions that follow race saver rules and compete for national points. The rules were written in a way to discourage extravagant spending, and they're known for their consistency across the country. Although we're commonly referred to as 305 sprints, that is just our stock size of our blocks, 305 cubic inches. The race saver rules that French Grimes developed 26 years ago have been applied throughout the years and make for easy-to-source, low-cost components. The spec cylinder head and valve train rules limit compression and RPM, so engines are fairly reliable, and some drivers can go 40 races or 2 seasons before a rebuild. So the Pennsylvania Sprint Series has had about 40 races on their schedule, but with all the rainouts and such, we're not even making it to the 20 that would count for national points. So usually it's just a driver's best 20 races that count for points, but we haven't even made it there. But drivers are getting pushed off here for hot lap session number 1. In car number 52, that is Jeff Weaver out of Lock Haven. Car number 17, that is Owen Dim out of Mifflintown. Owen Dim, a little fact about him tonight, he's lending an engine to Cruz Kepner, who's also out there in car number 19. Cruz went out to the Nationals in Nebraska this year, and unfortunately, while he was out there, blew an engine. So just camaraderie and sportsmanship in the pit area. The 17 of Owen Dim lending an engine to the 19 of Cruz Kepner out of Creamer. Also on the Speedway, car number 67, that is Ken Duke Jr. He hails out of Selinsgrove. He's currently the points leader for the series and the track point leader here at Port Royal. Also on the Speedway, he's no stranger to Port Royal. He calls it home. That's a 46 of Mike Allman. Also making the trip out to Nationals, car number 5W, that is Colby Weaver. He went out to Nationals. I think he did the best out of the 4 drivers that were out there. Good showing by the PA Sprint Series, just some hard luck in the wrong spot at the wrong time for some drivers. Also on the Speedway, car number 97, that is Kenny Hefner, driver out of Watsontown. He's coming off at turn number 2. Also out there in car number J9, hailing from Dayton, Virginia, that is Gerald Harris. He is actually a winner at previous Race Saver Nationals before they were moved out to Eagle Raceway in Nebraska. In turn number 2, the 12, that is Roger Irvine, a driver out of Irvona, 20-year veteran. He also drives a company car in autocross as he works for a suspension company, so car number 12 of Roger Irvine. Also behind him, the 53W, that is Jimmy White, driver out of Mount Union. Car number 53W, he has a best finish of 7th here at Port Royal. Behind him on the backstretch, car number 7, that is Drew Young. Drew hails out of Beaver Springs. He's in his 4th season. He's got 2 wins, one of which was here. And we always want to give thanks to his wife, Deb, who makes the cakes for all of our Pennsylvania Sprint Series winners. She always makes Victory Lane a little sweeter for all of our victors. Car number 28 on the Speedway, that is Racing Jason Roush out of Thompsontown. He's got a best of 5th here at Port. And we're going to turn him loose here in hot lap session number 1. Looks like we also have car number 1N, that's Paul Moyer on the Speedway. Paul also hails out of Beaver Springs. He's still looking for his first win in car number 1M. That he has a best of 2nd at Path Valley. That's Paul Moyer in the 1M.
As times start to come in, the Penns Valley Meat Market PA Sprint Series, always a super competitive division with us here. In the weeks that they do compete at Port Royal Speedway, multiple different winners. We've had guys charge from 10th on back to pick up wins this season at Port Royal Speedway. And these guys are always super excited to be a part of this weekend. We're always super happy to have them because of the performances that they put on as the checkered flag waves here on hot lap session number 1.
Looks like at the top of the speed charts, Brad, is the 7 of Drew Young, who we're talking about, his wife making the cake. So Drew, currently out of 15 cars, he is at a 18.564 second lap. Sorry, that's 13 cars out there. 18.564 second lap for Drew Young. Interesting thing about Drew is that he had been a rookie to racing about 3 years ago. He gave up his cowboy boots as he rode horses and I think was in rodeos and switched over to racing boots and has been finding great success as I think he was fast right off the bat in his rookie season. I didn't even know he was a rookie his rookie season.
And I think I also said wrong, so just to correct myself, I said 3 hot lap sessions. Looks like we already got the first half of cars out there in hot lap session number 1. So we'll bring out the second and final hot lap session of the night for the Penns Valley Meat Market PA Sprint Series, because we got the first 12 out there. We'll get the other half out, and then once we get them all cleared off the Speedway, we'll get ready to send it down for opening ceremonies. But second stage is, our second group is down there in staging down on the front stretch.
Sure thing, and as they're getting staged, I just want to give a shout out to Rob Malott, who's at home. He's usually a crew member of the Weaver Brothers Racing. He was currently grounded by doctors dealing with some medical issues, so our thoughts and prayers to Rob, who's watching, tuning into Flow at home. Getting pushed off in the second and last hot lap session for the River Valley Builders Pennsylvania Sprint Series is car number 4. That is Casey Weaver. Casey and Colby are brothers. Casey having started a year before his brother then got the itch. So, Casey in turn 1 and 2. Also in this hot lap session, car number 31Z, that is Zach Rhodes. He's currently leading the state points for IMCA Race Saver Sprints. So that means within our region and with neighboring regions here in Pennsylvania, he has the most points in the state of Pennsylvania for the 31Z of Zach Rhodes. Behind him, the 98 of Croy Bazum. Croy hails out of Mifflintown. He's got a career top 5 at Path Valley on the backstretch. And behind him is the 7H of Kyle Hart. Kyle hails out of Thompsontown. He's got some twin daughters that he was showing me pictures of. He's a rookie in car number 7H. That's Kyle Hart. On the backstretch 34, that is Austin Reed, Austin driver out of Edders. He just picked up the 2024 Clinton County Track Championship. He's got 8 wins with the Pennsylvania Sprint Series. He finished 3rd in our points last year. That's a 34 of Austin Reed. Behind him, car number 36, that is Mike Malaire, driver out of Warrington. He's got 3 career wins, a best finish of 2nd here. Currently tied for 5th in Pennsylvania Sprint Series season-long points with Nick Swigert, 36 of Mike Malaire. Also going into turn 301, that's Timmy Bittner. Timmy out of Beech Creek. He was a 2023 Pennsylvania State champion, also Clinton County Track champion last year. 01 of Timmy Bittner. Behind him, car number 20, that is Doug Dodson, driver out of Middletown. He's in his 6th season. He's got 8 career wins. He's looking for his first win of 2024. He's currently sitting, I believe, in the top 5 of track points. I think he's maybe 6th in Port Royal Speedway track points. 5 of Logan Spar, also he's out of Lewisberry. He was a 2023 Pennsylvania Sprint Series champ. Holds the record for the most consecutive Pennsylvania Sprint Series wins with 6 in a row. Also on the Speedway, car number 21 of Andrew Boyer, another person who calls Port Royal home in car number 21. 25 of Dustin Young, also on the Speedway. Dustin Young hails out of Danville. He's in his 5th season. He's got a best finish of 2nd here at Port Royal Speedway. 88 of Fred Arnold on the Speedway. He won the 2023 Keystone Race Saver, the challenge for the Founders Cup race. So those who didn't qualify went into their own feature event, and the 88 of Fred Arnold picking up that Founders Cup victory. The 2 of Aaron Statler, the only lady racer in attendance tonight. Aaron, a former sportsman-like driver award from here at Port Royal Speedway, Good Sportsman Award. Also a veteran with the Pennsylvania Sprint Series and the Race Saver Sprints. And I think we finally got everybody here in attendance tonight. At the top of the speed charts after hot laps, car number 34, that is Austin Reed, bumping Drew Young to 2nd. Austin with a time of 18.385 second lap. That bumps the 7 of Drew Young to 2nd, Roger Irvine to 3rd. And so, Brad, I think we're going to get ready for some opening ceremonies.
Yes, we are, Steph, so we will... pulled a Chase Rodman. Wrong headset, wrong button, kind of a mix-up. So, but yes, Steph, we are going to get into opening ceremonies after this short break on FloRacing.
This is Spencer Baston, and you're watching High Limit Racing on FloRacing.
winning doesn't just happen. You have to engineer it. You have to test it and make it better than it was the last time. Our engineers have the passion to create the parts you need, the way you need them to be, again and again and again. We've led this game for over 40 years, and we design, refine, and perfect every valve-train part worthy of the winner's circle.
Are you looking for the best made in the USA racing components? Look no further. DMI Racing Components and Bulldog Quick Change Rears are built tough, built to win, and built in the USA. DMI components are designed, developed, produced, and shipped by experienced winning racers in the heart of central Pennsylvania. From late nights in the shop to 2 a.m. car washes, we know what it takes to compete, and we know you deserve the best. We race, you race. Let's race together.
Rod End Supply is involved with a variety of motorsports as well as industrial applications with many different types of products. Since 1989, Rod End Supply has provided superior products priced competitively. Whether you're racing at the circle track or drag strip, rock climbing, or going off-road, Rod End Supply has an assortment of rod ends, radius rods, and specialty products to keep your equipment moving. Rod End Supply's experienced staff is ready and willing to help you with your needs. Their promise is to continue to provide a superior product with superior service so you can stay in front of the field no matter what it is. To learn more, go to rodendsupply.com.
We've got hot laps and qualifying done for Kubota high-level racing and hot laps done as well for the Pennsylvania Sprint Series. And that means we are now ready to go downstairs for opening ceremonies. So for that, let's toss it down to Tony Laporta.
Thanks very much, Chase. We are ready to kick things off down here for opening ceremonies. But before we get into the nitty-gritty of it and officially kick off opening night here for the 57th annual running of the Tuscarora 50 at the Port Royal Speedway, we've got a little bit of a business to attend to down here. How about it, folks? Let's hear a few words from our Quick Time Award winner here tonight. It is Logan Wagner. Logan Wagner. So we didn't get the chance to do this back at the Weikert. You went quick time back in May. You go quick time here. So going quick time here, it's just kind of your thing. It's what you do all the time, right?
Yeah, it'd sure be nice if we went every time, you know, but just not that fortunate. There's a lot of really good group of drivers here today. So to be fortunate enough to go quick time against this field, that's saying something for the car. Davey and Donald, they really put the car under me today and give me the ability to put it where I want, and it shows. So hats off to them.
You talk about that car teaming up with Kreitz Racing back middle of last summer. We were talking about obviously a historic operation, a really well-known program out of an area that just breeds wing sprint car greatness. What's it been like joining up with those guys and racing that iconic car?
Yeah, you ever hear just shut your mouth and listen? You know, it's a lot of what I'm doing. So, you know, I'm not young, but I am 33, young in comparison to them. But, you know, I got to thank Packers Concession for the $300. That really means a lot. I mean, night in, night out, it's tough. But I got to thank them. Got to thank Ramsey's Car Wash. They come on this week. That was pretty cool. But all in all, I mean, the car goes around from Santa Brothers, Mac McGee Motorsports, Glenville Station and Pub. I mean, these guys, they put the car under me and give me the ability to put it in the middle of the track.
And then we're getting going here. Opening ceremony is about to kick off, and then we're right into a typical high-limit format kind of night that kicks off a really big weekend of racing here. What can folks expect from the Speed Palace? What's this place going to do as the night goes on, do you think?
Yeah, I mean, I think you're going to see some guys jumping there from maybe the second row to win these heats. Really go after it. I do feel like you're going to see some passing later in the dash here into the beginning of the feature, and the track really should widen out and really help us PA guys.
There you go. That is your Packers Concessions Quick Time Award winner, Logan Wagner. How about it, ladies and gentlemen? $300 thanks to our friends at Packers Concession. $300, that'll go a long way over there at the concession stand. Congratulations again to Logan Wagner. It's now my pleasure to welcome up our presenting sponsor for tonight, HVAC Distributors. This is Jason Lennox. Jason, we're really happy to have you guys here. You've got I don't want to call it a booth, you've got kind of a display set up here in the infield. Tell us about HVAC Distributors. What are you guys doing this weekend?
So we are here to support the Speed Palace, right? Port Royal Speedway as HVAC distributors, and we sell heating and air conditioning to contractors, and we partner with the Daikin Corporation as our primary brand. So we're here in the infield tonight, and our motto is Partners for Success, and that's partnering with our customers and partnering with Port Royal Speedway.
Well, you kind of already answered my second question right there about why choose to partner with Port Royal Speedway and why choose to support an event like this. But it sounds like it's just because this is a big event and you guys are really looking to just sort of help the community, get your name out there. What can people do if they come over and visit you here in the infield this weekend?
So we have a drawing for a Yeti cooler, so you can stop by and visit us. We have a working Daikin mini split you can go check out and see how cool it can make your home, and talk to some of our employees about some other things we can do for you.
How about it for Jason Lennox with HVAC Distributors? Jason, thanks very much. We appreciate you guys being out here. And with that, it is time to kick off opening ceremonies here for the opening night of the 57th annual Tuscarora 50 here at the Port Royal Speedway. So for those of you in attendance, I ask that if you are able, that you please rise as we welcome track chaplain Doug Malott as he leads us in tonight's invocation.
Woo, the band's here. You ready to race? All right, let's give the Lord his. Let's pray. First of all, actually, before I go into that, I want to mention tonight about a 305 sprint car driver, Kyle Craker family. Kyle lost his life this week in a motor vehicle accident, and we lift that family up in our prayers. Also, we know that one of our 410 drivers in the High Limit Series, Chase Johnson, he's probably watching us now. Chase, you're in our prayers, brother. Now, let's pray if you would. Let's bow. So, Lord, we thank you for an absolutely beautiful evening. The sky is clear, and our hearts are full of excitement for the racing about to be able to unfold here tonight at the Port Royal Speedway. Tonight, we kick off 3 nights of a heart-pounding racing excitement, and we pray for your protection over tonight and every night's race. And John 15:13 says, greater love hath no man than this, that a man might lay down his life for his friends. Tonight, we also remember those that serve in our military around this great world that defend our freedoms in the United States military. We thank you for all that they do, and Lord, we ask for your protection upon them. We praise you for your protection, and we praise you for the saving grace that is given through your Son, Jesus Christ. Now, Lord, as the anticipation arises, and we prepare to be able to sing that national anthem, let our hearts be thankful and bless this night of racing at the Port Royal Speedway. Keep them safe, and let's watch some racing. As all of God's race fans said, amen.
Thank you very much, Doug. Now, ladies and gentlemen, please help as we welcome to the infield victory lane stage members of the Juniata County High School Marching Band as we honor America with the performance of our national anthem. Ladies and gentlemen, one more time, a big round of applause for the Juniata County High School Marching Band. A great performance to kick off what is sure to be a great night of racing. So folks, with that, it's Fair Week here in Port Royal. It's opening night of the Tuscarora 50, and it's time to go all in with Kubota High Limit Racing.
TJ Forged Wheels Heat Race number 1's hitting the Speedway now. Let's take a look at the lineup for this 8-lap top 5 transfer to the main event heat race. On the pole in this one, from Mechanicsburg, Pennsylvania, the Hollinger Allebach Racing, Old Milwaukee, Orange Crate Brewing Beer Hill Gang. Number 5W, it's Lucas Wolf. And outside of him, from Indianapolis, Indiana, the NOS Energy Drink, Elliott's Custom Trailers and Carts, Spire Motorsports. Number 7 BC, it's Sunshine, Tyler Courtney. Row 2 on the inside, the third starter in this one from Vincenttown, New Jersey, the Mid-Atlantic Transportation, J.G. Cronenberger, Milky Way Restaurant, Pioneer Auto Body, number 67, Justin Whittle. And outside of him, your fast qualifier here tonight from Harrisonville, Pennsylvania, the Sander Brothers, Mac McGee Motorsports, Glenville Station, G&P Distributors, Kreitz Oval Track Parts, number 69K, it's Logan Wagner. Row 3 on the inside, the 5th starter in this one from Elverson, Pennsylvania, the Charpak Cole, Moose Meadows, Cozy Clothes, Tinser Aviation, Studio 895, number 35 of Austin Bishop. And outside of him, from Alice Springs, Northern Territory, Australia, the Mobile One Toyota Racing Development, Roth Enterprises, HR Livestock Transportation, number 83, it's James McFadden. 4th row on the inside, from Neptune City, New Jersey, the Capital Custom Trailers and Coaches, Coors Banquet Beer, Easy Go, number 91, it's Kyle Reinhardt. And outside of him, in his High Limit Racing debut, from West Tannery, Pennsylvania, the R&R Motorsports, Thompson Town, Cornerstone Deli, Mac McGee Motorsports, number 95 of Garrett Bard. 5th row on the inside, from Oklahoma City, Oklahoma, driving the Hefner Racing Enterprises, Lincoln Speedway, Lelands.com, Frozen Farmer, number 27H of Ryan Timms. And outside of him, from Myerstown, Pennsylvania, the M&M Painting and Construction, McGroupBid.com, Baps Paint, Livewire Customs, number 19 of Brent Marks. 6th row on the inside, it's going with the driver from Sealandsgrove, PA, the Roast Post, Center Roofing and Contracting, Victory Auto, BK Motorsports, number 77 of Michael Walter. And outside of him, from Raymond, Washington, the Traco Hovey Industrial, Mountain Ridge Metals, Patton Sons, Moose Blocks, Hohenschel Welding, number 23 of Devin Borden. And the final starter in this one from Lewistown, Pennsylvania, the Stetchcock Performance, number 2C of Vince Snyder. Those are the drivers, 13 of them in heat race number 1, brought to you by the folks at TJ Forged Wheels. Real quick, let's hear a song from our DJ of the night, Tyler Courtney. He will start from the outside of row 1 in this one. Wild things are, cars are beginning to come to life, and Earl, you got something to tell us.
This heat race is also brought to you by Ickesburg Beverage, located in sunny Perry County. It's always sunny on race day at the Port Royal Speedway, and Ickesburg Beverage loves you race fans and thanks you for your business. Make sure you stop by their distributor right on your next trip to the racetrack. That's Ickesburg Beverage.
Thank you very much, Earl. All of our starters, all 13 of them, have made the call. They are underway and catching up to the HinrichCars.com pace truck on the back straightaway. 8 laps will be the distance in this heat race. The top 5 finishers will go straight to the main event, with the winner and the fastest qualifier to transfer going to the dash. That driver in this heat race is Logan Wagner. As long as Wagner stays inside the top 5, he will join the heat race winner in tonight's FK Rodden's dash. But if Wagner can come from 4th to the win, he would automatically be on the pole of the dash tonight. We call that the ace in the hole. So keep an eye on Wagner here. See if he can make his way up to that #1 position and grab himself the pole for tonight's dash. Lights are out, Earl. We're about to get underway with Tuscarora 50 weekend.
Melvin Bell, the driver of the John Schaefer Dodge pace truck, will make that hard left-hand turn into the pit area. Race fans, are you ready? First heat race of the weekend. Remember, we go green at the chalk line at the Packers concessions. Turn 4 chalk line. Lucas Wolf, Tyler Courtney, make up the front row. We come to the line. Here we go. Green flag is out. We're underway.
Underway here in the first heat race of the weekend at the Tuscarora 50. Nice side-by-side action into turn #1 between your front row around the outside. Sunshine's going to have the race lead down the back straightaway. Lucas Wolf in the 2nd spot. Battle for 3rd into turn 3. Justin Whittle to the inside of Logan Wagner, but Wagner around the outside is going to have that 3rd spot.
Logan Wagner's going to cruise right into P3, looking to track down the 2nd place car of Lucas Wolf. Now Justin Whittle looking to go under. Whoa, almost contact there with Logan Wagner. They're still nose to tail into turn 3.
Close call there between your 3rd and 4th place cars as James McFadden currently rounds out the top 5. He's in the final transfer in the Roth Enterprises number 83 car. Then it's Austin Bishop, Garrett Bard, Brent Marks, and Kyle Reinhardt, the first couple of cars right behind your transfer position of McFadden, as it looks like Marks makes his way around the outside of Kyle Reinhardt off of turn 2.
Brent Marks is up into 8th. Reinhardt, however, looking to make the pass down low. Short slide job off of corner number 4. They drag race at the line, give that 8th position back to Brent Marks.
Marks trying to make his way forward after an engine change. Made his night a little bit tougher here during hot laps earlier on, as the race for 2nd starting to heat up a little bit here as Lucas Wolf trying to hold off the 69K of Logan Wagner. Wagner looks low into turn 1. My goodness, as that car stuck to the racetrack. He takes the spot off of turn 2.
That's that Davey Brown setup working right there in the 69K. This time by 3 more times around for heat race number 1. Logan Wagner is up into the runner-up spot. Brent Marks still trying to advance his position throughout the field.
Battle for the 6th position. Garrett Bard been impressive here all night long. Going to make the pass on Austin Bishop off of turn number 2. The former 305 winner a lot here at Port Royal Speedway was 1 spot out of a transfer with Austin Bishop back to the inside, but Bard is looking really good here in this heat race.
We also want to let you know that James McFadden still sits in that 5th and final transfer spot, but already taking the white flag. We just have 1 more time around. Tyler Courtney out to a straightaway lead in this one.
Sunshine might have to deal with the slower car of Vince Snyder here on the final 2 left-hand corners. We'll see if that is the issue. It's Wagner behind him, Wolf and Whittle, then McFadden. Coming off of turn number 4, Tyler Courtney's going to win TJ4's heat race number 1. He goes to the dash along with Logan Wagner, who finishes in 2nd. 3rd goes to Lucas Wolf, 4th to Justin Whittle, and 5th goes to James McFadden. So Tyler Courtney gets the win in heat race number 1. He will go to the dash along with the 2nd place finisher Logan Wagner in 69K. 3rd, the 5W Lucas Wolf. 4th, the 67 of Justin Whittle, and 5th, the 83 of James McFadden. Those 5 will go straight to the main event. The rest of these drivers will have to go to the B or the C main. Austin Bishop, Garrett Bard, Brent Marks, Kyle Reinhardt, Devin Borden, and then Mike Walter, Ryan Timms, and Vince Snyder. Tyler Courtney going to make his way into the infield, and before he heads back to the trailer, he's going to stop there and talk to Tony Laporta as a heat race winner tonight on night 1 of the Tuscarora 50.
Tyler Courtney, our high limit racing DJ of the night. They just played one of Tyler's songs, Out Where the Wild Things Are by Luke Combs. That's a song about going out to the West Coast. Well, the West Coast is where Tyler Courtney and the rest of our high rollers just came from. Going from Washington State to Pennsylvania in just a few days' time isn't easy. Your race car is a rocket ship with all the moving and shaking. Do you even know where you are right now?
Yeah, we're at the Speed Palace, and it's fast right now. Yeah, I'm sure they're going to keep packing her in and probably get her nice and slick here for the feature. I hope. That's when I like this place the best. But just a really good nice to drink. Elliott's Custom Trailer, Aspire Motorsports car. Yeah, my guys, we had a really rough West Coast trip, but they never gave up, and we still haven't given up yet. They busted ass back across the country to get here for one of our favorite weekends, the Tuscarora 50 weekend. And yeah, we got a really good race car, and we'll just keep working on it to hopefully get ourselves out of a little funk that we've had.
Out of the pace that we just saw from that 7BC, Chase and Earl, no doubting it when Tyler Courtney says this is one of their favorite weekends. And his crew chief, Jake Argo, said the best part about the trip home from the West Coast was A, it was uneventful, and B, they finally got to replenish all the stuff they destroyed out on the West Coast. Those are Jake Argo's words. They're pretty happy with how they're looking here in Pennsylvania.
Certainly are. As we look at heat race number 2 lineup, this one's brought to you by the folks at DMI Racing Components. On the pole, it's going to be the defending Tuscarora 50 champion out of Higginsville, Missouri. They get Casey's FVP, Andy's Frozen Custard, Fultz Excavating, Impact Science, Taman Motorsports, number 21 of Blackjack, Brian Brown. And outside of it from East Berlin, Pennsylvania, the Tron Outdoor, J Fuels, Brewer Home Improvements, Moose Blocks, GPS Plumbing, number 39, Cody Hartlob.
Starting third from Enumclaw, Washington, the Casey Kane Racing with Mike Kerb. Brumos Collection, Factory Kane Shocks, Kane Screen Print, car number 9, that's Casey Kane. And rolling off to the outside of row number 2 from Hanover, and the Pels Tire Service, RF Knox Company, the Autobarn RSI Outdoors, car number 1A of Jacob Allen.
Third row on the inside from Lubbock, Texas, the High Plains Building Division, Carbon Safety Technology, Lubbock Wrecker, 5 Nights Truck Accessories, ShopTruckParts.com, number 1 of Brenham Crouch. And outside of him from Lebanon, Indiana, the True Timber Camo, Nice Crate and Landis Block, JRC Transportation, High Performance Lubricants, PhilPools.com, number 5, Spencer Baston.
Rolling off 7th from Gettysburg in the Derek Snyder Self-Made Racing, Weikert's Livestock, RV 4-wheel drive, York Excavating, car number 48, that's Danny Diechuk. And then starting in the 8th spot from Beaver Springs in the Wise Market, Sage Fruit, Salem RV, Bud Godek Auto Body, Smoking Gun Fabrication, car number 35K of Jake Karkland.
Starting 9th in this one from Liverpool, Pennsylvania, the Mountain View Travel, Village Square Plaza, High Tech Metal, Smith Titanium, number 11 of TJ Stutz. And outside of him from Port Royal, it's the Valley Supply, Dryden, SCA Incorporated, Gibbsville Cheese, Juniata Concrete, number 5, C of Dylan Sisney.
Rolling off in the 11th starting spot, the driver hails from Lebanon in the Adams Auto Sales, Fredericksburg Eagle Hotel, Key Warranty, Blue Rock Farms, Garden Spot Auto Action, 99 of Devin Adams. And right alongside him, rolling off in that 12th spot, the driver comes from Visalia, California, in the Commercial Edge, Rasmussen Service Center, Elliott's Custom Trailers and Carts, Falcons Brothers Trucking, Bargain Barn, car number 8 of Corey Eliason.
Final starter from Newville, Pennsylvania, the TWF Manufacturing, Metzer Truck and Trailer, number 12W. It is Troy Fraker. Enjoy this song from Tyler Courtney's High Roller playlist here tonight.
Race is also brought to you by Harshberger Sub and Malt, serving you at 2 locations in Baytown and Mifflintown. They serve great food in a 50s mood. They offer 24 flavors of homemade ice cream and great daily specials, including 50s Night Wednesdays. You can like them on Facebook today.
Thank you, Earl. 8 laps, top 5 going to the feature. The winner and the fastest qualifier in this one, that would be Jacob Allen. As long as he stays in the top 5, he will go to the dash with the heat race winner. If he falls out of the top 5, it would be the first and second place finishers going to the dash. Brian Brown and Cody Hartlob to the chalk stripe in turn 4. We are underway with DMI heat race number 2.
When the field goes to the Packers Concessions chalk line, that is when we get underway. Close racing there on the front straightaway. Give the lead to Cody Hartlob. Now here comes a run by Brian Brown. He'll dip to the inside. They'll drag race down to the turn number 3. Here it comes Blackjack. He'll drive right to the inside of Hartlob. Hartlob, however, turns the car. They come off of turn number 4, and Brian Brown will lead lap number 1.
What a wild first lap between your top 2 of Brian Brown and Cody Hartlob. Keep an eye on Jacob Allen as he's on the bubble spot right now in the 1A, but we got one around in turn 4. It is Jake Karkland, the 35K, started 8th on the field and is now pointing towards the track exit there, and that's exactly where he's going to head. But wow, Brad, I know you were watching that. What about that first lap from Brian Brown and Cody Hartlob right there?
Those guys were inches off each other, Chase. I mean, what a battle for the lead.
That was, I don't know how they didn't get together right there.
That's crazy, but that just shows you how much this event means to these drivers and how important these heat races really are.
Absolutely. I mean, obviously, you win this heat race, you're going to the dash, going to have a great starting spot. And Cody Hartlaub, not a ton of experience here at Port Royal. This might be his 5th or 6th start in his career. And, this is his first real 410 season as a full-time driver. And he's trying to put something together here in this heat race. Spencer Baston in 3rd. 4th is Casey Kane. And keep an eye on Jacob Allen. Got to stay in the top 5 if he wants to be a part of the dash tonight as we go back to the green flag.
Brian Brown with a good start. He'll lead the Thunder and Herd in the turns 1 and 2. Here comes Spencer Baston down low on Hartlaub. He'll take the runner-up spot.
Baston up into the 2nd position as Cody Hartlaub slips to 3rd. Then it's Casey Kane. Jacob Allen still has 5th. Brenham Crouch, 1 spot out of a transfer, trying to hold off Danny Dietrich and TJ Stutz. That's not going to be an easy task as Dietrich got the big win at the White Dirt earlier this year. Stutz, a World Outlaws winner this year. So if Crouch can hold them off, it looks like he's doing a pretty good job of it right now. Earl, now he's closing in on Jacob Allen.
Yeah, right now Allen sits on the bubble. He's going to be challenged, though. Here comes Crouch. Crouch looks to the inside, trying to find some grip down low. Can't quite hold off the move. Now look at Danny Dietrich. Dietrich has to run off a turn 2.
Dietrich closing in on both of them. Could see a 3-car battle shaping up for that final transfer spot as Casey Kane looks underneath of Cody Hartlaub off of turn number 4. Hartlaub still has the 3rd spot across the line. 1 car off the pace on the backstretch. It's Troy Fraker going to stay green.
Halfway in this one, as now looks like Casey Kane starting to close in on Hartlaub. They're side by side for 3rd off of 4.
Big slider back behind for the 6th position as Brenham Crouch got back by Danny Dietrich. He'll have the spot at the start-finish line, but Dietrich right there with him into turn number 1. Going to slide up the hill, takes the 6th position right back away, but he's running out of time. Only 3 laps to go to try and track down Jacob Allen for the transfer.
Yeah, now make it 2 laps to go, a mile to race. Can Danny Dietrich close in on Jacob Allen and try to transfer to the A main through this heat race? As there goes Brian Brown, starting to stretch things out over the field.
Dietrich just a tick slower or a tick faster than Jacob Allen the last time by. He's going to need to be a whole lot faster if he wants to make the transfer. The white flag's out, 1 to go for Brian Brown. Baston in 2nd. 3rd spot still up for grabs as Hartlaub holds off the 9 of Casey Kane and Jacob.
Oh my goodness.
Man, Hartlaub has been a part of some very close action here in this heat race as we come to the checkered. Brian Brown will win it. 2nd will go to Baston. 3rd to Casey Kane. And 4th at the line is going to go to Cody Hartlaub over Jacob Allen. So Brian Brown is going to get the win. He goes to the dash at a DMI heat race number 2. Spencer Baston in 2nd. 3rd spot to Casey Kane. 4th goes to Cody Hartlaub, and 5th goes to Jacob Allen. He will go to the dash with Brian Brown. Danny Dietrich, Brenham Crouch, TJ Stutz, Dylan Cisney, Devin Adams, Troy Fraker, Corey Eliason, and Jake Karklin. Those drivers will head to either a B or a C main. Cody Hartlaub might need to get the blood pressure checked after that one. Couple of close calls, 2 of them with Brian Brown. They're on the last lap. A close call between him and I believe that was Jacob Allen down there. So great stuff in the heat race. The track is shaping up very nicely, and Brian Brown about to make his way to our interview station inside the 3rd corner. For that, we'll go downstairs to Tony Laporta.
Actually, psych, Chase. It's Spencer Baston, the driver who goes from 6th to 2nd. I can't see turn 1 where I stand way down here in turn 3, so I radioed to the truck for confirmation and asked if anything happened. They said no. He just passed a bunch of cars. What was that like?
That was good. It's, we obviously didn't want to start 6th there, but the car's handling really, really good. Was just good on all the starts, was able to get good runs into 1. I think another caution, I maybe could have slid Brown, just how good we were coming to the green each of those times. But good to run 2nd for sure and pass a lot of cars there. Our car's versatile right now. The True Timber 5's handling really well. So got to find just a little more speed in the early part of the night and get qualified, but we're racing good, so it's important to be able to pass cars.
Ooh, Spencer Baston says his number 5 is versatile. That's what you want your flex player on your fantasy football team to be. # versatile. Back up to you guys.
Thank you, Tony. Heat race number 3 is on the track now. It's brought to you by BR Motorsports. Here is the lineup on the pole of this one from St. Helena, California. The Rico Abreu, Kerbagajanian Racing, Bear Printing, El Bandito, Yankee Tequila, Mesquite Valley Transportation, Whiskey Myers, number 24 of Rico Abreu. And outside of him, from Apollo, Pennsylvania, the Mercedes Motorsports, Ducati of Pittsburgh, Diesel Property Management, Mav Motorsports number 88 of Cy Lynch.
Starting third from Clovis, California, in the Sander Engineering, 4Cs Construction, Autry Plumbing, SenCal, Driven to Saves Lives, 14, it's Corey Day. Rolling off outside row number 2 in that 4th position from Dillsburg in the J&S Classics, Valley Supply, C&D Rigging, Class 1 Transportation, DMS Trash, car number 39M is Anthony Macri.
Starting 5th from Harrisonville, Pennsylvania, that's the Mac McGee Motorsports, John Ott Racing, A. Miller & Associates, Clugston Lumber Company, Alexander Financial number 55W, the legend Mike Wagner, and outside of him from Kunkletown, Pennsylvania, the Western Mountain Black Diamond Equipment, Denichek Logging, Seeger Radiator number 6 of Ryan Smith.
Starting 7th from York in the Zemco Speed Equipment, Zemco Headers, Zemco Tool and Die, CMC Coatings, DMN Truck and Trailer Services, car number 1Z, it's Chase Dietz. Starting in the 8th position from Sikeston, Missouri, in the Iowa Barnstormers, Des Moines Industrial Products, Jersey Freeze, Central Iowa Sheds, Webb Family Farms, car number 2KS of Hunter Schurenberg.
Starting 9th in this one from Salfordville, Pennsylvania, the Trans East Equipment Pioneer Pole Buildings, Ken's Tire number 51 of Freddie Raymer, and outside of him, it's going to be the driver out of Dillsburg, the Chet's Trunks, RV 4-Wheel Drive, Eric's Tent Shop, Bruce's Speed Shop, Advanced Tooling Solutions, 47K of Cody Lehman.
And driver starting 11th from New Oxford in the Weaver's Body Shop, KR Perry Trucking, Big Daddy's Grill and Chair, Major League Sports Bar, Imes Auctions, car number 33, it's Gerard McIntyre Jr. And rolling off in the 12th spot from Mifflintown in the Juniata Concrete, Bargain Barn, HP Engines, Big Daddy's Grill and Chill, car number 10 of Jake Waters.
Final starter in this one from Clute, Texas, the Falcons Brothers Trucking, STC, Bargain Barn, American Table, Commercial Edge, number 87. It's Aaron Reitzel. 13 cars once again in third heat race, brought to you by BR Motorsports. Enjoy a song from Drew Parker on Tyler Courtney's.
This is also brought to you by Buttonwood Campground, located just 2 miles from the Speedway along the Juniata River on East River Road. With over 270 tent and RV campsites, Buttonwood Campground has an atmosphere of mountains, rolling farmlands, and fresh country air to complete your camping experience. Check them out on the web at www.buttonwoodcamp.com.
8 laps in PR Motorsports Heat Race number 3, top 5 to the feature. The winner in the fastest qualifier, that being Anthony Macri. In this one, as long as he stays in the top 5, he will go to the dash with the heat race winner. This is a tough heat race right here. We'll see who will come out on top and head into those dash positions. Abreu and Lynch to the chalk stripe. We are underway in PR Motorsports Heat Race number 3. Good start on the outside for Cy Lynch.
He'll lead them down in the turns number 1 and 2. Macri in third. Abreu looking down low. Look at Corey Day, car number 14. Look to go 2-4-1 out there off corner number 2.
Macri moves into the third spot as Day runs in 4th, and 5th at this point in time is the number 6 car of Ryan Smith. Leading lap 1 of the third heat race is Cy Lynch, but Rico Abreu looks to the inside, turn 1. Slider for the race lead. Abreu's got the top spot off of turn 2.
Cy Lynch tried to run it back down the hill, has the momentum. They're once again side by side in the corner number 3. Rico Abreu comes off of 4, gets gripped the cushion, and he'll come down and be your new leader once again in car number 24.
6 laps to go in heat race number 3. Cy Lynch back to the inside, shows the nose, but Abreu's got the momentum to keep him in the front of the field. Macri running in 3rd, Corey Day 4th, and still 5th at this point in time is the number 6 of Ryan Smith. And here comes Chase Dietz to the inside, turn 3. Tries a slider. He'll clear it off the corner. Holy cow, that was the latest slider of all time from Chase Dietz.
What a move by Chase Dietz to take that final transfer spot away from the 6 of Ryan Smith. Ryan Smith keeping pace with Dietz. Smith right through the middle. But here comes Chase Dietz. Oh my, the 14 of Corey Day slipped up there off the corner number 4. Chase Dietz is starting to track him down.
Chase Dietz looking very good in that Zemco number 1Z. As I say that, Ryan Smith peeks back to the inside, but Zemco number 1Z car will hang on the final transfer spot down into turns 3 and 4. Rico Abreu still shows the way, 3 laps to go. It's Abreu, Lynch, Macri, then Corey Day, and the number 1 car of Chase Dietz.
This time by, we're going to have just 2 more times around. Rico Abreu, as we got a car off the pace at Schurenberg, he's going to duck it into the infield. Rico Abreu last time had a 1.5 second lead. This time, Chase, he increased it to 1.7 seconds.
White flag coming next time by for Rico. Cy in the 2nd spot. Macri running in 3rd and closing in slightly on the number 88 car for Cy Lynch. The battle for the 5th and final transfer, it's not much of a battle as Chase Dietz is pulled away significantly from the 6 of Ryan Smith. We're on the final lap of the 3rd heat race.
Rico Abreu heads in the turns number 3 and 4 for a final time. He cruises to the victory here in heat race number 3. Give it to the 24 of Rico Abreu.
2nd goes to Cy Lynch. 3rd goes to Anthony Macri. 4th is Corey Day. And 5th is Chase Dietz in the 1Z. Your finishing results from BR Motorsports Heat Race number 3. Rico Ebru gets the win. He goes to the dash. Silence in third. Anthony Macri also goes to the, Silence in second. Anthony Macri third. He also goes to the dash. Corey Day fourth and Chase Dietz in fifth. Those are your 5 transfers. Ryan Smith, Mike Wagner, Aaron Reitzel, Freddie Raymer, Cody Lehman, Gerard McIntyre, Jake Waters, and Hunter Schurenberg will go to the B and C main events here tonight. After an early battle with Cy Lynch, Rico Ebru pulls away with a dominating win. 2.3 seconds was the gap at the finish of that BR Motorsports Heat Race. Chase Dietz started 7th, gets up into the 5th position, so a nice +2 for him, and he will find himself in tonight's main event. Sounds like no interview here after the 3rd heat race, so we'll jump into the lineup for heat race number 4. On the pole of this one from Grass Valley, California, it's the Casey Kane race with Mike Curb. Napa Auto Parts, Brumo's Collection, Maximo Racels, number 49. That's the big cat, Brad Sweet. And outside of him, from Kokomo, Indiana, the Chalk 6 Torsion Bars, Elite Wings, High Performance Lubricants, Octane Inc., Wikipedia, number 9P of Parker Price Miller.
Starting 3rd from Selinsgrove in the Packers Concessions, Mertz and Associates, Century 21, Creasy Signs, Victory Fuel. Car number 12H this evening, it's Blaine Heimbach starting in the 4th position. The driver comes from Monrovia, Indiana, and the Avanti Windows and Doors, Big Spring Car Wash, Water Treatment by Design, Coastal Race Parts, car number 13 of Justin Peck.
Starting 5th in Winners Performance Heat Race number 4 from Canton, Illinois. That is the NOS Energy Drink, Logan Contractor, Elliott's Custom Trailers, TK Concrete, Zip Bonds, number 55 of Chris Wyndham. And outside of him from Geneva, New York, driving car number 22 in the Frano Granite Curbing, number 22 of Jonathan Preston.
Starting inside row 4 from Angola, Indiana in the Sundollar Restoration, Ford Performance, Sage Fruit, Race Rudine Foundation, Rudine Management, car number 26, it's Zeb Wise. Then to the outside of row 4, starting in the 8th position from Leduc, Alberta, Canada, in the Warrior Building Development, Pack Rack Dumpster, Nelson Bros Construction, Building Packages Direct, car number 99 of Skylar G.
And starting 9th, it's the driver from New Freedom, Pennsylvania, the DL George & Sons, West End Sunoco, Dawson Performance, Kreiners Racing Engines, DMI, number 27S, that's Robbie Kendall. And outside of him, starting 10th in his Highlander Racing debut from Myerstown, Pennsylvania, the KR Perry Trucking, DMH Solar, Shots Auto and Truck Repair, Haro Associates, number 55S of Dallas Shot. Row number 6 on the inside from Ephrata, Pennsylvania. It's the J&S Classics Fleet Reps, Whistler Motorsports, Keystone Ag Spray, Tree Center, number 45 of Jeff Halligan. And outside of him from Fayetteville, the Drohan Brick, House Seal Plumbing, Glenville Station, Conduit Connection, Shear Welding, number 12 of Lance DeWeese. And your final starter, actually that was it, 12 cars.
That's it, 12-car heat race, huh?
Yeah, 12 car, yeah, that's nothing, right?
Nah, nothing.
13, 13, 13, now 12. We've got cars getting pushed off now for our final heat race. 8 laps, top 5 to the main event. The fastest qualifier in this one is Justin Peck. As long as he stays in the top 5, he will go to the dash with the heat race winner. We'll see what happens here. As you can see, the Ferris wheel, all of the carnival rides going on outside of turn number 1. It's an interesting sight. It's a sight that you don't see very often at a sprint car race here at Port Royal Speedway on night 1 of the Tuscarora 50. Here is a late addition to the playlist from Tyler Courtney with Electric Avenue.
No place to hang out or washing, and then I can't blame all on the sun. Oh no, we're gonna rock down to Electric Avenue, and then we'll take it higher. Oh, we're gonna rock down to Electric Avenue.
Eddie Grant with Electric Avenue. Earl?
Can't go wrong there. This heat race is also brought to you by Penny and Bank. They're the official sponsor of the Kids Money Scramble we had here in the beginning of August. Penny and Bank is redefining banking through personal connections and personalized experience for their customers, and they provide banking and related financial service in your communities. Check them out on the web at pennyand.bank.
Here we go, coming to the green, chalk stripe in the 4th corner. Brad Sweet, Parker Price Miller, 2 dash spots and 5 transfers here in our final heat race, brought to you by the folks at Winters Performance. We're underway.
Great side-by-side start. Give the advantage to the Napa 49 of Brad Sweet. Things are getting close there mid-pack. Look at Jeff Halligan up high, and here comes Lance DeWeese in the 12.
Lance DeWeese trying to come back after a blown engine during hot laps earlier on. Chris Windham in the final transfer. Big slider from Blaine Heimbach to get by the number 13 of Justin Peck. Peck crosses him up down the front straightaway, maintains the 3rd position. Heimbach runs in 4th, and 5th right now is Windham as he's feeling the heat from the 99 of Skylar G.
And Lance DeWeese still marching forward. He's to the inside of Zeb Weiser's side-by-side, still on the outside looking in, because right now running in that final transfer spot is still the 55 of Chris Windham.
Nice job right now from the 22 of Jonathan Preston, holding up some good cars. The only driver in the field tonight from Geneva, New York. That 22 with no sponsor. It's like big slider for the 6th position. Jonathan Preston gets by Skylar G off of turn 4.
Side-by-side at the flag stand. How about it? Jonathan Preston, he's looking to transfer into tonight's feature event. He's still 1 spot shy. Has to get close to Chris Windham. This time by, we're halfway, 4 laps in and 4 to go.
Not the first time we've seen Preston this year with High Limit Racing. Got a solid finish earlier this year at Outlaw Speedway in New York. Made the show as well at Utica Rome. And he's trying to run the bottom to catch up to Chris Windham. Down the back straightaway, that lead for Windham over Preston, maybe 16 or so car lengths. We got Preston right there. It was Skylar G, Zeb Wise, Lance DeWeese, all back there fighting for that position.
Brad Sweet has a 2.4 second lead over the field, starting to stretch it out. As you can see, Justin Peck now, he's starting to close in on the 2nd place car of Parker Price Miller as they both worth the cushion there off corner number 4.
1 lap to go the next time by for Brad Sweet. He's working that 49 car right up against the wall off of turn number 2. Once again, Peck to the left rear tire of Parker Price Miller. PPM makes his way back around the outside, maintains the 2nd position. He runs the middle in 3 and 4. Peck runs the top. He'll have a big run down the front straightaway, coming to the white flag.
Final time around in the final heat race for the Kubota High Limit Sprint Car Series. The battle still rages on for that runner-up spot, but already in the corner, number 4, checker flag is out, and Brad Sweet will win the 4th and final heat race. Let's give the runner-up spot to the 9P of Parker Price Miller, and Justin Peck finishes 3rd.
Blaine Heimbach 4th, and 5th final transfer goes to the 55 of Chris Windham. Well, race fans, how about it for Brad Sweet? He gets the win in the 4th and final heat race. He goes to the dash. 2nd was Parker Price Miller. 3rd and going to the dash, the 13 of Justin Peck. 4th, the number 12 of Blaine Heimbach. And 5th, the 55 of Chris Windham. How about the run for Jonathan Preston in the 6th spot? 7th was Skylar G. 8th was Zeb Wise. 9th, Jeff Halligan. 10th goes to Lance DeWeese. And then behind him, it was Robbie Kendall and Dallas Schott. So those cars will make their way off of the racetrack. When we come back from this break on FloRacing, it's time for the redraw wheel to find out who starts where in the FK Roddens Dash.